devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. The devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand. Call
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good evening, and thank you for joining DLD After Dark. Look, I'll be honest, man. It's one of those nights. It's been a hectic week or so, and I'll be real with you guys.
I'm almost too mad to do the show at this point. In fact, I just need to walk out of here. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Oh, the AJ. We love the AJ. Anyway, no, look. I'm not mad. Or am I? No, we're going to get into it. We're going to have some conversations. Of course, it won't be the sole focus of the entire show, because then we'll just start throwing stuff. And look, this is why so many times we don't make the progress that, we're literally fighting for our natural rights. And we're not going to make the progress that we need to when our own community is literally fighting against us. So we're going to get into it, man. If you're watching this for the first time, which you're likely not because YouTube doesn't share this content with new people, if you are new in chat, shout out. We'll give you a shout out in return. But I'm Dark with DLD After Dark. We do a live show every Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday around 10:30, depending on my chihuahua and my mood. But every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, 10:30 Eastern. And tonight, we're going to get into a few topics. If you're watching this tonight, sound off in chat. About 86% of our support on this channel is from channel members. So what we do is we take the first, few minutes to greet all the channel members, welcome all of them, because they literally help keep the lights on. If you're watching this the next day or the next day or the next day on the replay, do me a favor, drop a comment, replay mafia, recapitulation syndication, refried beans, reheating the leftovers, all the great creative things that you guys always say. And I appreciate y'all. Plus, if you just drop a comment, if you engage in chat, we have a great community over here. If you're watching on mobile, they'll actually be below us here. But engage with the chat. They will welcome you. They will be kind to you, usually. So let's go ahead and jump into it. I'd like to say, dang old Matt, first in chat. Like, it rhymes. It sounds great, and I appreciate you, brother. I don't know how you did it, because I started the stream and it was like right away. So thank you for joining, dang old Matt, first in chat. Let's do a crisp high five. Or you're more of a fist bump guy, right? That's what I thought. Appreciate you, brother. We got Fat Rooster in the building. What's up, brother? The Sarah Coton homie. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out, man. Also, Chanamemba. Zanti Misfit, brother. Great to see you. Also, Chanamemba. Drewski, lifetime Chanamemba. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much. And yo, I know we were talking earlier. That is totally okay. That you continued sharing the blessings. You bless others. I love that, man. So thank you. Appreciate you. And Drewski, man, I always appreciate you. I want to take a second to read this, actually. Guy Actual says, can't make the stream most likely, but hell nah, Willie. Won't be purchasing from them ever again. Gone the way of so many self-loathing 2A companies. So I just want to state in the beginning, my intention is not to influence you to make purchasing decisions or not make purchasing decisions or get in the way of any other company or anything at all. My intention is to showcase information to you in black and white. We're actually going to literally pull up the documents and go through them tonight. I'm not trying to hurt anybody or any company. What I want to do is showcase integrity when people are good and dirtbags when people are bad. And you need to know that if you are within the community, the 2A community, where everything that we do with DLD After Dark, with DLD hardware, with Definition Knives, is honoring people that are moving the 2A ball down the field. So if you're not doing that or actively fighting against that, then we're going to do the same thing and call you out and honor you for being a dirtbag. I mean, not honoring, you know what I mean. Anyway, I mean, look at the way that we name all of our knives, right? We name our knives based on people that are out there advocating and, activists really that are fighting for our natural rights that are given to us by God, by the way, by God. These are not permission slip rights by government. Please, everyone out there, stop saying my Second Amendment rights, because you don't have Second Amendment rights. You have natural rights given to you by God for your self-preservation, and no man should be able to restrict that or change that. So I'm just saying it's protected by the Second Amendment, which is a restriction on government. So anyway, sorry, soapbox down. Okay, so let's keep going through. Appreciate you, man. Kurt 24, the producer of the show. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming in and hanging out. Not only is he a channel member, he's also a moderator. Appreciate you, brother. DB, I see you out there, my guy. Great to see you, man. See Kurt 24, Drewski, 80XR920, brother. Great to see you. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. Also a channel member. And look at this 717 Rider. It has indeed been a long time, and it's great to see you, brother. Also and still a channel member. Appreciate you, brother. Granddaddy Turk, great to see you. Also a channel member. Hope you got those things. Or no, you did get those things in the mail. That's right. Heck yeah. I also got a couple things too I'm going to show off tonight, which if you guys want, if anyone, and I'll switch this over here because it went pretty well last time. For any contribution that comes tonight via this thing right here on the app of the Cash, I got some really dope, unique things that I completely changed. Basically, what I did is I took, y'all saw like these Definition Knives keychains and these things like that that we were kind of showing off. We've been including them with our knives. But if you see right there, you'll see like the layer lines like all up in. Let's see if I can. There you go. You can see the layer lines, right? So what I did is I went back through and I actually changed some of the tool path and some of the structural stuff and made these way stronger. And then I also included some ironing, and I did it by using the Blood of My Enemies filament, so it's like crazy smooth. I mean, some of these things look like injection molded, and we literally have like every color combination. So yeah, so for anyone that sends any contribution, a couple bucks, anything like that, I see Kurt already sent one. Bro, you're awesome, man. I'll send at least one. I mean, I wasn't expecting a $25 Cash App. Dang. But anyone that does contribute, we'll send some of these new crazy dope Blood of My Enemies ones to you. They're stronger. They got the hardware, the keychain hardware, and all that stuff. And yeah, so just wanted to throw that out there. But I appreciate you, Kurt. Thank you so much for sending that, man. You didn't have to do that, brother. Let me go back to where we were here. Granddaddy Turk, Kurt 24, Drewski, Fat Roosty, Blue Curtain Burner, brother. Great to see you also with Channel Member. Appreciate you, brother. Kurt 24, the producer of the show. Let's see who else we got. Drewski, Zanti Misfit, Zanti, Kurt 24. Just want to make sure I didn't miss anyone there. Hey, special guest, Chris from the 740. Great to see you, brother. He also picked up one of the Aegeans as well. Lots of people are liking the new knife, which was actually named in honor of Gideon Optics. You know, Jordan Vinro, Bob, those guys are doing a lot to fight for our rights as well. More than y'all will ever know. I've seen him stroke $5,000 plus checks to the GOA, and he's been a plaintiff in huge lawsuits that are all fighting for our rights. So Ruby on the Ridge, brother, great to see you, man. Also a channel member, appreciate you being here. Aggie, also a channel member, great to see you, my guy, appreciate you. See Drewski, Granddaddy Turk, Kurt, Senor Bub, there you are, brother. Great to see you, man. Appreciate you coming in and hanging out. And Joe Vacu, also a mod, brother. Great to see you, man. Thank you so much for coming in and hanging out. And did I miss anybody? Joe Vacu, Anti Misfit, Granddaddy Turk, Joe Vacu. Kurt 24. Hey, I didn't see that. Hey, Zanti, hit me up offline, man, and I'll send some of y'all, man. One of these. Zanti, brother, thank you. DK, wee, with the $2 super chat. Thank you, brother, so much. And someone actually also just sent me an. Oh, I see 717. Thank you for putting your username in there so I don't say people's like government names and stuff. But thank you so much, bro. You got it, man. Whoa, dang, I wasn't expecting $20. You guys don't have to, just a few bucks, just a few bucks. I mean, I'm not gonna turn it down, you know, but just a few bucks, man. I just don't want to take. I'd rather give. But thank you. I'm grateful for all y'all, man. I'll throw some extra. And I got all the stickers. And I also got the new Boo Boo. Shout out to Frag Out, who designed these because so many people were cutting themselves with the knives when they got them. Thank you again, Zanti. Cali Prepper, brother, great to see you. Also a channel member. Zanti, Kurt, Jova. Let me make sure I'm not missing anyone. Cali Prepper. Goonbeam, brother, great to see you, man. Wait till you see this short that I recorded. I'm about to drop. You're going to love it. Bob Drewski. Okay, we got everyone in here. So Silencer Central, not familiar. Thank you all for coming in and hanging out, man. We're about to jump into it. We're going to bring in our guest, which you'll see is listed as P-Face Baby, which sounds very bad, but y'all know him as your boy, Chrome Vandium Arms, Baby Face P. Welcome. It's been a while since I had you on.
Yeah. We've been busy. Busy's the only way I could say it.
Yeah, man.
Speaking of, I'm gonna have to pull up Discord and go over to your Discord and see what shenanigans your folks get up to, because I haven't been there in a while, and I'm gonna go up there.
You've probably been there more than I have, and if you haven't been there in 2 years, you've probably been there more than I have. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't been checking in. I've been a very, very bad, dirty Discord server.
I'm trying to find where's the link. They used to post horrible pictures on here, and that's we're Make a Meme Foundation. Here we go.
Yeah, that's so we did that actually during the COOF because we were like involved in memetic warfare, and it was
there's one. You haven't been over there, but I just posted one for everybody.
Nice. Love it. Fluffy Bunny, brother, great to see you, man. Thank you. Well, believe it or not, there may actually, because like we said, it's been a while since you've been on. Believe it or not, there may be people here that may not know who you are. So if you could.
Kurt24 posted a link, rumble.com/user/SpaceP. Yeah, I guess I do have a Rumble. I haven't posted to it in a very long time. I haven't posted to anything in a very long time.
Yeah. Your Instagram, you're pretty active on Instagram.
Instagram's easy enough to find me because it's kind of simple and easy for me to post, even shorts and stuff about gunsmithing. I have gone, for anybody that somewhat knows me, is I used to post videos on YouTube a lot about building and fixing firearms. And then there was a downturn in the tech market. I lost a job. And a year and a half ago, I started my own business and went full-time gunsmith. So now I am a professional full-time gunsmith. And I can be reached if any of y'all can read.
Oh, yeah. Let me blow you up real quick. I'll put it on.
There you go. If anybody wants to reach out and have a project worked on, there's the information.
That says 0702FFL. He can build all the fun stuff.
Correct. I got all of it. Speaking of, it's almost 0702. It's almost 02 season again, and I got to put out another $500 for that privilege.
Yikes.
I have a bunch of them in the safe, and they never come out. It's sad.
And for those that don't know, we're talking like he'll work on like anything, right?
Oh,
and
yeah. I'm a full machine shop gunsmith. I can work on just about anything.
But your skill with like real deal metal guns is insane, dude. Like with AKs, freaking rivets and scorpions and all that.
I'm building tomorrow. Actually, I've got to finish out a crink for a customer. A friend / customer has been dying. It's funny. This is going to take me down a bit of a tangent, but how old are you?
I'm almost 40.
Yeah. Okay. So you're similar to me. And there are times, because I'm older and I remember some of the good times, that I have. There you go. Yeah, that's me.
Thanks, man.
I have guns in my collection because I have a pretty decent collection at this point. And there are things that are in my collection that I've had for so long that I forget that they're really, like, I forget that I'm kind of jaded. I forget that I have really cool shit.
Yeah.
I've had a crink now, a Russian crink now for like 10 years. And when I built it, it was expensive, but it's nothing like what it is now. A fully built crink, Russian or Bulgarian, is like $5,000. They're ridiculously, they're unrealistically priced where nobody can get them anymore. This customer of mine who's 24, he's a friend now at this point, but every time he comes over, he wants to play with the crink. And it's like, I forget that it literally, my crink is literally hung on the wall above my workbench. It's my shop defense gun, and it's loaded. I keep the crink loaded. But it's just funny because he finally put together a parts kit piece by piece, and I'm finishing it out for him tomorrow. Nice. But I forget, I totally forget that I have cool stuff, and you just get so used to having your collection that you don't realize that somebody comes along and is like, holy crap, that's my grail gun. So,
dude, after a while, it's like you start collecting stuff, and it's like, because I also have a kind of crink. It's a Bulgarian AKS 74U variant. Technically, it's an SLR 106
The SLR was it 104 UR?
So I actually have a 106 UR.
It's a 5.56 gun?
Yes. Very good. See, you know yourself.
Still, like, those are unobtainium these days. They're going for like $2,800 to $3,200 or something.
I was gonna say like $3,000. That's crazy. I'm sitting here looking at it like
that's the thing about it though. When you got it, it couldn't have been more than $1,200, right?
So actually, here was the issue. So I bought. So this was before the SLR 106 pistols came out.
Yeah.
This was actually right after the hook of the Sandy happened.
Oh, so the price is already.
It was like, so I think I actually paid $1,500 for it.
But
so I overpaid.
So at $1,500, that's still obtainable for your average everyday citizen.
Yeah.
For the last ones I saw pop up on AK files because mine's a Russian crate.
Like Tula.
Mine's a 92 Tula kit that I built.
Dude, that's so dope.
They're between $4,000 and $5,000, which is that's completely unobtainable for your average person.
It's insane.
It's and they're cool. I love the gun, but it's not worth that. They're trash guns.
Yeah.
They should be like $600-700, you know?
Yeah, especially, I mean, being what they are, but it's the same thing. Like, I don't know if you saw like the typical miniature shotgun that we usually don't talk about. Dude, those are going for $3,000.
I don't. I don't understand what it, well, I
It's
just,
because you can't have it.
guns are moving past me. Like there are certain things that I would love. This same customer
Mhm.
bought a SVT-40, which is a cool gun. And he paid $2,400 for it. Maybe he paid $2,200. It was a good price at the time. I feel like it wasn't that long ago that those things were $1,250.
Yeah, yeah,
But the market is moving faster than I can keep up, and
yeah.
I'm cheap.
Well,
I don't want to pay modern prices.
it's no, and I'm with you, man. That's why I usually try to piece stuff together or like put
Yeah,
things,
yeah.
but I mean, I got my super shorty for under $1,000, and I got kind of a stupid deal on it. And the fact that it when things become discontinued and they become unobtainable or scarce or difficult to
I've
get, that's
learned
when price goes
I've
up.
learned that lesson like 3 times now. The last one I can remember, um, for years kept saying that AAC and Harrington and Richardson had a handy rifle, an AAC handy rifle,
Yep.
300 blackout break
I
action.
remember.
They were like $250. They were not
Yep.
expensive. They were easy to come
Threaded,
by.
pick rail on top. Awesome.
Incredible gun. And I kept saying, I'll pick one up next time. Now I need this other gun. I'll pick one up. And I never got one. And now they're pushing like $600-700.
Yeah.
And I will never. The other thing is trying to find one is next to impossible. I've yet to see one locally that I'll pick up.
It's
downstairs. I'm not sure if I talked about it on the group chat, but I picked up a Bushmaster ACR 2 months ago.
That's
and
cool.
It was expensive, but it was $2,200. And I told myself at the time, if I pass this Bushmaster up, the next time I see one will be 25, then it'll be 27, then it'll be 31, then it'll be like they're not coming back down in price.
Yeah, Murph, great to see you, bro. Fluffy, a lot of you guys. DB Cooper. Oh, so DB Cooper is asking, was that 92 Tula a deactivated kit?
It wasn't. So, well, I'm assuming he means deact as in there was a group that was bringing in Russian deactivated that were. It wasn't that. This one I was told came out of Pakistan and was a literal war pickup. When I bought it, the kit off of a guy on Gunbroker. I called him to pay for it, and I was like, "Yo, where is this from?" And he's like, "We had a bunch of desert people pick a bunch of these up and give them to us." So yeah, it literally was like a Pakistani gun that came from the desert.
It's funny because like the way things change and evolve, and we'll get into the news in a second, guys. It's cool for you guys that may not know Babyface Pete to kind of get a vibe for like him, his gunsmithing services, the building that he does. It's awesome. But when I bought the Arsenal crank, it's an SBR, which complicates things with sale kind of. I could make it a little easier, take it off the registry, turn it into a pistol, all that. But either way, when I bought it, like way back then, I mean, I don't even remember right offhand when Sandy Hook, what was that?
2013.
20. Okay, yeah, I was gonna say 12 or 13. At that point, man, like everything started going crazy. Any AR was like $2,000. AKs were over $1,000, and then everything kind of crashed again, because all it takes is a president to say we're going to ban and then everything was like.
I remember the feeling. I built my first AR post Sandy Hook because I was not confident that I'd be able to get one. They were pushing for anybody that's too young and wasn't around guns back then. They were pushing so hard to ban everything.
And
there was no confidence on the internet. Like nowadays you see people get on, do podcasts, talk guns, and you see a lot of people with a lot of confidence saying like, oh, this is going to happen, this isn't going to happen, don't worry, they don't have them. That stuff like that. The NRA still owned everybody back then. So there was nobody telling the truth or telling like, don't worry, they don't have the votes, they're not going to get this passed, it's just a bunch of bluster. So everybody was panic buying as much as they could, and your run of the mill
ammo too.
And PSA wasn't making your cheap AR-15s. That didn't exist at the time. Most guys were running your mid tier was like a Spikes Tactical. And then above that, your high end would be a Colt. Jesus Christ. I just thought of this the other day. During that time, or actually, I guess right before that time, you could get LE 6920s, which is the kind of run of the mill LE Colt out there. They were like 680,
Yeah.
720.
So I was gonna say
They
we
weren't
were
crazy
selling them at our
expensive.
shop. They're $6.99 or something
Yeah.
like that. You
And they
know?
would go on sale sometimes for like $5.99.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I passed up so many thinking, oh, and I need a Spikes Tactical. Fucking retarded.
Dude, I know. I did the same thing. You know how many Spikes lowers that I got, and then like you know, back in the day, and then I saw like, ooh, color filled.
Yeah.
You know,
My main go-to SBR is still a Spikes Tactical Honey Badger lower, and it's color filled, and I have it kitted out with laser and light, and it's like a $5,000 gun with all the crap that's on it right now.
Oh, dude, I remember when the Honey Badger lower came out, which was around the time that Call of Duty first really introduced the Honey Badger to the world, and everyone was like, "That's the lower." It's no different. It just has a picture of a little angry honey badger on it, and that's it. I had at least one of those. I think I actually got rid of that one, and I had like another like pipe hitter one. I was like, "What's a pipe hitter? Whatever, I'll take it."
I'll buy it. It's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool. It's now all I've ruined so many youngins by telling them about the Spikes tactical dueling penises.
Yeah, that's
you know the dueling penises.
I do.
Yeah, if anybody out there does it, go, and you're not going to get anything too weird, but go do a quick Google search for Spikes tactical dueling dicks.
Yeah,
and you'll see. The problem is you will never unsee. You will only ever see it forever now. So
yeah, you can't see the spider ever again.
Once the spider will be gone forever, and you will only see penises.
Yeah, and there's some things like that. But yeah, so a couple things. One, there was a time like when the shop that I worked at just made like a bunch of bad decisions, right? Like they bought like 24 SIG 5.56 SBRs. And then just like sat on them for years, right?
Why?
But they also bought like 24 of those AAC 300 blackout H&R rifles. So like they were just desperately trying to get rid of them. And they were like, dude, you know, if you want it, we'll give it to you like at wholesale. Yeah, it's like 150, 180 bucks. And I was like, man,
I don't need it that bad.
Yeah, and then it's like one day I'm like, you know what? That would be a great hog gun. I'd like to put some glass on that. I'd like to gone. And I was like, I
don't think anything ever filled its niche. I don't think there is a break action 300 blackout like that you can just go buy.
I think Thompson Center came out with something, or maybe
so the Thompson Centers. So I take that back. You could get a Remington 7, which is a bolt action. Short Remington 700 action. I had one of those for a while. I
had one too. Did you have the 300 AAC version with the Hogue style? Yep. I had one too. Sold it like a dummy.
I sold it because I don't shoot anymore and I don't have any 300 blackout in my safe. And I got a pretty penny out of it because those things are collectible now, supposedly.
Yeah.
So I had that, and then the Thompson Centers. You can get the Thompson Centers with blackout barrels, but they're not the same as the Henry rifle. Was just the simplest. I don't know. They've been doing those break actions since like 1892 or something.
It was so tiny. It was like a youth model.
It almost felt like a youth model because the barrel was so short. That thing is an SBR. It'd be so cool.
Oh yeah. Actually, one of the guys at the shop took what was it? It was an H&R, and I don't know if they had it like professionally rechambered or whatever. 500 Smith & Wesson with a prototype 50 cal can. Dude, nasty.
Cool. I bet that thing would kill a hell of a hog.
Yeah. But to real quick before we get into the whole news thing, when I bought that Crink in 5.56, everyone was giving me crap for it. Every single person. They were like, "Why would you need
what
the
year
5.45?" So that was 2013.
5.45 wasn't banned yet. 5.45 was still importable and 8 cents a shot.
Yeah, it was nothing. I mean, you could get a can of 7 and 6 with like 1,080 rounds for like nothing. My buddies got pallets and pallets of it. And, you know, when I was considering, there was a guy that was willing to trade the 5.56 for the 5.45. So I called my buddy and I'm like, "Hey, would you trade the 5.5?" Nope. Okay. All right. So I gave it. But I mean, there are some things I'd be willing to part with. Probably that being one of them. Probably the Super Shorty being one of them. And then try to buy a KEG from Safety Harbor Firearms. You know,
Good luck. Good luck. He
yeah,
hasn't been making them lately. I have a customer who, a funny, weird story. I had a customer email me the other day saying, "Hey, can you do all the labor for an AOW for me?" And I was like, he wants to AOW a Maverick 88. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm happy to do it. But do you know what goes into that? And he's like, yeah, it's a $5 tax stamp, and then I'll send it off to you. You'll pistol grip it and put the no. Any Form 1 that you do is $200. It doesn't matter.
$200. Yep.
And he was like, "Are you sure?" And I was like, if you send me the gun, I can pay as an SOT. I could paper it, manufacture it as an AOW, and then transfer it back to you.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, you're spending so much money on me booking it, labor, sitting on it for however long it takes, whatever, and the work to convert the gun. You might as well just do an SBS, and then you have so much more. Like,
you put stocks on it.
All you got to do is send me the barrel. I'll cut the barrel down and send it back to you, and you're done. Like, we don't have to do anything else. Like,
it's honestly almost, yeah.
The problem is he didn't realize that you can't $5. There is no $5 Form 1 that doesn't exist.
Yeah, doesn't exist, and a lot of people don't know that. Like, they assume it's an AOW, so it's $5. It's a $5 transfer, but it's any Form 1 is $200.
And this will get us this would tie us perfectly into the news and the shenanigans that they're doing, because this again goes to, well, the Form 4 would be free, but your Form 1 is still $200.
Unless, of course, if an 0702 SOT were to be, cranking out cans and then transferring them.
You were in the chat the other day when I said that I'm going to start a business. If that were to go through, I'm going to start a business where we're Form 1-ing cans. You send me what you want. I will SOT the item at $5 or and $0 it back to you.
Yeah, if that's how the Hearing Protection Act ends. I think
we don't get there. I really hope it goes differently.
I mean, it seems like that. I mean, I guess I don't want to say it could be the worst case, right? Knock on wood. But like, it seems like that would possibly be the worst case. But for people that haven't been following, this is the closest we have been in like nearly 80 plus years, right? Since 1934, the National Firearms Act, which, funny enough, originally was created to target pistols and these small little like those.
The 225 auto vest pockets that are out there would have been NFA weapons for sure, 100%.
Yep. And so there was a bunch of like mob guys that were taking, I forgot the name of the guy, but he would take a 1911. He would put like a 10 or 15 or 20 round mag in it. He'd put a Thompson grip on the front and make them full auto. I think, I don't know. Yeah. And
can't even imagine the rate of fire on that thing.
Dude, it probably just slam fires. I mean, I don't know, but well, I guess it wouldn't slam fire because when you charge one, that would be a problem. But I mean, those.
I've seen it done before. There are guys that are doing machine gun. I've seen a machine gun 1911. It's a retarded thing. It's so stupid. You better be shooting at somebody in a phone booth. Like
That's what BWE used to say about like the micro Uzi and stuff.
The micro Uzi is the same thing. You better be shooting at a phone booth. Like it is completely useless.
Yeah. It's just
my God. The amount of time it took you to make that sound, cut it in half, and that's how fast 30 rounds went. It was nuts.
Yeah, it was crazy. Those are fun, and the mini Uzis. I like the mini Uzis, and messing with like the rate reducers and stuff like that
would make it worth it.
Yeah,
I had a whole discussion the other day with a guy who wants to get a pistol MP5, and I have a whole philosophy on some of this stuff, and I'll drag you guys into it. He was like, "Yeah, I don't want to do. I just want to do a pistol. I don't want to do an SBR, and I want to do a full size, and then I want to do." And I was like, hear me out. You're just doing a pistol. You're never going to NFA it. You're never getting into anything further. He's like, yeah, just a pistol. I was like, do you want, I mean, the K model, when it comes to, it's a pistol with a brace on it. The K model to me is the best. You get even more compact. You don't have to worry about rate of fire. You don't get any of these other things. You don't lose really practically any velocity between the 5 and the 8.5 inch barrel. You're not losing.
Very small amount.
And you're not, again, the main thing, you don't worry about rate of fire because it's a pistol.
Yeah.
And I told him, he was like, I was honest. I was like, aesthetically, this full size MP5 is one of the best looking guns ever created, ever designed. It's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
But
big.
practically, if you're defending your house or defending your car or whatever, the K is just more compact and it just is better at that sort of thing.
It is. You do have to, if you're going to run a can on it, you do have to make a slight change. Whereas with the full size MP5,
it runs just fine.
And
then I told him, I was like, now take both of the ones here at the range and go shoot both full auto. Throw the pack in the K and throw the pack in the other, and you'll see why I don't like K guns. Their rate of fire is too fast, where the MP5 is creme de la creme.
You know what's great though?
Magpul stocks are that you're. Ask if he knows where any of the Magpul stocks are that you're looking for.
We talked about actually, so we have a group chat of like the guys, right? And when I was talking about, so I got the MP5 SD. Which is basically it's an MP5 SD, but at the core, it's kind of like a reverse. No, not a reverse stretch.
Not a reverse stretch. It's a full size MP5.
It's a full size MP5 with
an extended barrel.
It's a K barrel. So it's full size MP5. 5.75 inch barrel with the threads and tri-lug, but it's shrouded by the SD handguard.
So it's not an actual K barrel. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they say it's a K barrel.
Oh no, I'm sorry, not K. It's not an actual SD barrel. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, it's not an SD barrel. That would be dope. I would like that, and then I would definitely want to do some fun FRT stuff with it because that's currently lawful due to an injunction.
They work, by the way, fantastically.
Yeah, with like the lead lower with the bird,
I guess I shouldn't say FRT. Super safeties.
Yeah, they are.
They are ballsy.
the little thing can break.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Don't do it in plastic. Don't 3D print one.
Yeah, you got to get the metal. You got to get the metal one. But yeah, so they were.
So what stock are you looking for?
It's actually a brace. It is the Magpul. It was discontinued by Magpul in 2022 when the brace drama happened.
Dude, they discontinued the ACR stock, which is the best stock that has ever been produced in all of mankind. And everybody used it for every gun.
I know.
Discontinued that thing, and I have no
idea. Then they're
gone.
I know, it's crazy. I can't believe. And the funny thing is, I don't know if for these MP5 SDs, if Magpul was like, yeah, we'll do a run of a couple thousand for you, or if the people in Turkey just were sitting on, however many thousand.
Turkey sits on stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if they had it. So what it was a specific. I'm gonna look.
It's a collapsible. I can. Oh, you know what? I have a picture. It's a collapsible brace. And it is aesthetically just like the old school.
I see what you're talking about. It's the MPBSL arm.
BSL. Yep, that's it. And honestly, if I could find one, I would buy it right now. But because I can't, I'm going to go with the Safety Harbor. Because it's great.
Tailhook is better, dude. Tailhook is way better than this thing. Having owned a tailhook, I can promise you the tailhook is a much more usable design.
I have a tailhook mod 1, but I want the compact.
No, see, that's your problem. The mod 1's too big. You need the mod 2. The smaller one he has on a Safety Harbor.
Yep. Have you seen the Midwest Industry tailhook compatible? So it's a Midwest Industry tailhook compatible
brace adapter.
It's like half of a tailhook, but there's no. It's just. It's like $80.
Yeah, arm brace hook is what they call it.
Yep. So I'm like,
it just goes on a. By the way, for anybody out there, I'm not cultural. If you can't tell, I am Cuban technically by blood, but I'm a fairly white man. I don't go to the hood very often. I was in the gun shop today, and I was told that the new hotness in the hood. Do you know about this? What's hot right now in the hood?
No, what's hot right now?
ARP. Got to have you an ARP.
Oh, dude, don't get me started on that.
Gotta get you an ARP. You need a stubby pistol brace. Not a brace, a stubby extension tube with the foam on it, and you need no sights, and you need a laser on the front.
Dude, so
I'm not kidding.
That is
This
what's,
is like supposedly this is like the hotness in the hood, and
it is.
I'm completely outside of that. I
And
had
you
no
can
idea.
see, bro,
It's in
there's
rap videos, and like
videos.
everybody wants one.
Yeah, and there's videos of dudes like in the middle of like a street in Chicago with like an FRT in it, or a
Oh, God.
like drop-in auto sear or something, and they're just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Wah!" And like a 5.5 or 7.5 inch barrel. It's just like someone with a drum right now with a dragon breathing. It's nuts.
But I wasn't aware that is the current. I guess one of the guys at the shop that I'm friends with was like, yeah, we get a call once every couple of days. I'll get a call asking for an ARP. That's what they call it. It's an ARP.
Dude, I've brought that up so many times that I despise the term ARP.
I've never heard it. I had never heard it until today, which is hilarious.
So I'm not looking at chat right now. I'm looking through the pictures, which you probably already saw, the Magpul brace.
Yeah, I went and looked it up.
So like,
no,
I
as cool as it is, it's probably less expensive, which is worth it. But
it's like 150 when it was available. It was 150.
You might get friend pricing from Safety Harbor. I don't know.
We talked. Yeah,
Okay.
I was like, do you have blims? And he was like, I'll search and I'll see if I can find a blim. So we're working something out. But
yeah, I can tell you that
him.
With the Tailhook Mod C or whatever it's called, the smaller one,
the
metal one that is smaller.
Yeah. It's way smaller. It's
fantastic.
Like 40% smaller.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I had that on my MP5 for a while before I SBR'd it. Fantastic.
So let me ask you this. Because it's going on, basically what I'm going to do is it's going to be, and I guess I could share this picture. So it's going to kind of be like think of a full-size MP5 size, but with a can, right? So because it kind of, here, this is perfect.
It's SD length.
Yeah, well, it's going to be like a micro SD.
Oh, you're doing a small SD. Yeah, I got what you're doing.
Yeah,
that's
so
fantastic.
It's going to be like a little guy, and I did throw.
So under that handguard is a 5.5 inch barrel with a tri-lug and a half
tri-lug and half by 28.
That's actually a really nice little package.
I kind of prefer it because an SD is only an SD.
So I guess it is kind of like a reverse stretch. Because
it's
the
like
reverse stretch is long on the back, short on the front, so it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah,
except they're doing SD looking front.
Yeah.
There's no. What's it? Is it just a pipe that screws on the front, a tube?
So it's actually freaking welded. The ring for the handguard up front is welded to. So, and this is why. Okay, you learn a lot
take it
when
off?
you get stuff. I took the rubber outside off, and I saw the aluminum with the vents. So the handguard is actually true to SD style.
Yeah, it looks just like an SD. Yep.
Yeah, it's
which,
crazy.
By the way, I don't know if you know that originally was a hey, just make it work prototype, get it out the door so we can test it. And then everybody's like, I really like this handguard. And they're like, bro, that was some rubber tubing that we found in the back of the shop.
Yeah, like it was in the shed.
All the SAS guys were like, yeah, no, keep it. It's really awesome.
Yeah, Dark loves an ARP. Yeah.
But it's I can't believe I've never heard that till today. Well, I'm super white, and I live in my own garage. I don't go out much.
Red anodize everything. Hey, Armsman, good to see you, man. Huge fireballs, crazy fireballs. John Crump Live, thank you.
Oh, Crump's on there too.
He says, "Are we talking about Vago?" No, absolutely not talking about. We're not ICP fans, but thank you for the super chat.
ICP, not ACP. Got it. ICP, ARP.
Yeah.
So it's the can is welded to the handguard.
No, so it's Murph Dog. Thank you, member for 27 months. He says I still need that grade 26. Well,
he was saying he wants to trade something earlier. He was like, man, you want to trade such and such for a grade 26? I saw that comment.
Well, so if apparently we thought the frames and receivers thing was like done, right?
They're working on it though, supposedly.
Yeah, there's a stay on it. It's a 60-day stay. They could come back and say like, hey, they're not guns anymore or whatever. Dude, if I could go back to selling frames, I was just talking to Babyface P. I got cases of P80s, including grade 26s, black 17s, gray 17s, flat dark earth 19, 17.
Do you have any the blue is all gone, right? You said the blue is gone.
It's gone.
Yeah.
But I have like 8 of them.
Oh, you and I gotta talk after. You and I gotta talk. I have a 19, Robin's Egg Blue 19 that Marley I built for her, and she likes it.
Is it Robin's Egg or Blue Titanium?
They called it Robin's Egg.
Did it said Robin's Egg on the box?
Yeah, on the box it was Robin's Egg.
You already built it?
It's a 19 frame, yeah.
Oh, dang.
What?
Okay.
Why? Have you been wanting one or something?
Robin's Egg is like it's the Tula kit.
Are you kidding me?
Dude, it's Robin's Egg and white. If you can get your hands on those, it's
the
just like
whites used to be so common too, because
they were blowing out for $90 on Brownells.
And the funny thing about that, the cool thing about that to me was you can take it and stick it in Rit dye and turn it whatever color you want.
Whatever color you want.
Yeah. I always thought about that, but
that's the Blue Titanium.
It's Robin's Egg. The one she has is Robin's Egg. 100%.
Wow, that's dope. Keep that forever, dude.
It's really that rare? They didn't make that many or something?
No, it was small runs. Their main colors were,
it was black, tan, green.
Yeah, black, tan, OD green, cobalt, blue titanium.
Cobalt.
Yeah.
Man, no, it was funny. It would popped into when I was working at the gun shop years ago. They had a whole bunch come in and they popped in and I got wholesale on it. I think I paid $85 for it or something. Because again, but again, this goes back to the whole concept that I didn't know what the future held. If I did, I would have bought 7 of them. You
know what else kind of just popped in?
Oh, look at that. You want to tell people about that?
The V1. So before all the craziness.
When it was still just a piece of plastic.
Yeah, we were able to work something out, little trade skis. And he had a V1 polymer 80, like literal V1.
I never built on it because I thought they were so terrible. Hank has a built one that we did together in his garage, in his shed somewhere,
with plastic rear rails.
Oh, terrible! Dude, you had to mill them. It was a whole whole thing.
Dude,
and it never ran correctly, so I never.
I also have a bunch of Cobalt 26s too, which those will never be made. Well, those will likely never be made again. But all of this stuff, and this is kind of interesting, like how this has opened the door to like when people that hate our freedom become aware of things, right? They're like, oh my goodness, people are building guns with no serial numbers.
They live in a bubble.
Yeah.
And they have no concept for what the world is like. Nothing, and that's the funny thing is the world hasn't changed since you figured out that we are building guns in our houses. Like, nothing's changed. That's like when you hear people say, like, I've had people tell me before to my face, I would feel so uncomfortable if I knew somebody around here was carrying a gun. It would make me, and I'm like, bitch, it's on my hip right now. Like, I'm not going to tell you this, but
I'm strapped.
It's right here. This bulge is not what you think it is. But they each like shatters their worldview, and they can't handle the idea that this has been happening forever. There's nothing. We're not less safe because of it. First off, fuck your safety. I don't care about your safety. You don't deserve people who give up liberty for safety deserve neither, you know?
Yeah. And your rights end where someone else's begin.
Yeah.
Right?
It like shatters something in their head where they're like, oh my God, you can build your own. It's like we've built our own guns since the country was founded. We were good at it back then. We used to hammer them out of steel.
Mm-hmm. And that's like, this is what's crazy. Like, so now we're in a, post-Bruin world where to pass anything, they have to go back to text, history, and tradition. And there's so much that, like, dude, New York. So
I'm going to go out real far here and say that there was no such thing as felons with firearms because if somebody was bad enough, you'd string their ass up in the street.
Absolutely.
You'd hang them from a light pole and say, okay, they're no longer part of this society. Or you'd run them out of town.
Yeah,
and then they'd go fuck around in somebody else's town, and then they would get run out of that town.
And what's it called when you like banish someone?
Yes,
like
exile them. You would people would get exiles. So and so owes me money, and he owes him money, and he screwed around with that guy's wife.
He stole my horse.
Him and kick his ass out of town, and you never had a problem.
Dude, horse theft.
Oh, you got killed for that.
Killed, literally killed. I'm not saying that. Like
you took somebody's livelihood away. You got killed. For that.
Yeah.
And go back to the days of prison escape not being a crime, by the way. Did you know that was a thing?
Well, I did not know that was a thing.
Prison escape up until like 1950.
What, did they like congratulate you or something? Like, all right, you earned it, buddy.
The concept historically was humans, it is unnatural for us to cage humans. The natural inclination is for somebody to want to escape. So they're just doing what's natural. We can't punish them for it. You just send them on back. We'll finish out your time. Yeah. Prison escape wasn't a crime until like the 50s.
I could think of some other things that they could use that logic on, which wouldn't be very good, like minor attracted persons,
Wood chippers.
Straight up.
Home Depot's got them.
Straight up. Also, 9mm jacketed hollow points are pretty inexpensive too, But yeah, I mean, completely different.
I like how it's so universal. I feel like at one point the timeline that we were in, post Obama into Trump, just started. It started going off the rails, and then into Biden started going off the rails so fast.
It was built
somehow, some way, the universe has grabbed the steering wheel and just ripped us back into the other direction. Where now it's like you go on Instagram and people are like, "Minor attracted person, what the fuck? 9mm?
Where did that come
what
from?
The fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah, like it's crazy, dude. And that's like they're bending reality, right? And that's why a lot of times when they talk about like the whole protecting kids from like the whole trans stuff, it's like they call them gender benders, right? And there's also like the idea of like this is just good and evil, right? This is heaven and hell, and Satan can't create. So what Satan does is comes in and takes something that God's created and twists it, curves it, perverts it, and it's a story as old as time.
It's so crazy that it feels so obvious from the outside looking in. Sometimes you see these stories and you're like, this is so obviously wrong and bad, but
you're logical.
How have you gotten yourself? I was watching a thing the other day of some person being interviewed in the UK. Her opinion was that these parents that have allowed their kids to butcher themselves in the name of lefty tolerance have to fight this until their dying days, because if they ever even consider like, oh, we didn't do the right thing, then you have to go further and consider we allowed our child to fully butcher themselves to where they're no longer what they could. We've destroyed our child.
A decade before they're allowed to get a tattoo. Like
they basically can never admit defeat, and they're going to have to go to their graves fighting for this stuff.
There's a whole nother level of corrupt, evil. It is intentional, And I know,
I think a lot of it's for money too. I think a lot of it comes down to money. Yeah, like the doctors and stuff that are pushing this. It's just, hey, we can make more money if we just get them in here, and then they're here for the rest of their lives. They have to take drugs. They have to do whatever.
Yep. And
that's intolerant me coming out though. I'm such an asshole.
Dude, I'm with you 100%. And
I was. Like, we're getting so out on
I know. It's like, welcome to DLD After Dark. This is what we do here.
I was very much kids are kind of, they're just an open blank slate, and then they just decide, until I had a son, and then my 2-year-old now, I'm like, ain't no fucking way there's no blank slate. That's a boy through and through, and a boy does boy things, and he's a boy. There ain't no blank slate. I didn't teach him any of this shit about liking fire trucks or playing with guns or getting dirty. He's just a boy.
That's what they do.
He's genetically different from a girl.
Absolutely. Yeah. In literally every way. By the way, I love those shorts that are like, gender pay gap explained. This girl was had a 2x4 and a vise, and she's sawing through it with a hacksaw, of course. And she gets to the point where the wood hits the top of the hacksaw, and she's like,
I don't know what to do.
That's weird. She goes like at an angle, and she like turns it around, and she's like, she just cannot figure it out. And it's like, dummy, like, do you not see that big bar on the top of like literally a dude would be like, unscrew vice, flip over, and we wouldn't be using a hacksaw.
The reason men and women work together is because we are different. We're different, and we complement each other. And that's the funniest thing about the craziest.
It's biblical. That's biblical. Like, that's like literally.
There's a reason in whether you want to believe in religion or organized religion or not. Because I know a lot of people that watch probably are not into organized religion. I am. I'm totally cool with it. But even if you're not, there's a reason why it has worked for hundreds of thousands of years.
Yeah.
And then even into organized society, which is only 10,000, written history, organized society is 10, 15,000 years old at most.
Mm-hmm.
The reason this stuff works is because each of us pours half of our being into that kid, and they have to have both.
Yeah.
They have to have both to be like normal, developed people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's crazy, and that is literally like evil chipping away at
It is.
And the more they can do that to the general public, the more malleable and suggestible they are.
I think again that something in the universe, our universe does not. The basic principles of our universe is we can't go too far too fast in any direction, and our universe has taken, for whatever reason, our timeline has taken a hard turn again back to what we would consider normalcy. And I don't know why that's happening, but it's like, from everything I'm told, the kids in elementary, middle, and early high, but mostly elementary and middle, are pushing away the idea of liberalism. They have no interest in being force-fed this bullshit liberalism that has been forced upon kids. Like the kids below us, you're almost 40, I'm 36. The people in their 20s right now are just totally fucked. They're totally fucked.
But the funny thing, though, is like the generation right after them is watching this and
going, I don't like that.
They've never been more conservative. Like it's crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Is that next group coming up is like this? I don't like. Don't tell me
like
how to do what I want to do. I don't like this. I want traditional values, and I want to get married and have a family. And
I want a house if I can afford it. And Misty, Miss Wayne, great to see you. Hope you and Ron are well. Love you guys as well. Thank you so much.
Hold on, I pulled the cable out.
Oh, you're good. EO5 webcam utility.
Yeah, I hit the wrong cable.
Sandwich Chef, great to see you as well. All you guys in chat, love y'all. BV, good to see you. Garen Wilson, all you guys, if I missed you, my apologies. Is falling into the convo. So let's get into the guts. I know someone's going to be like, conversation doesn't start till an hour in, but welcome to DLD After Dark. This is happy.
The problem here, and we'll get into politics, is we've already behind the scenes. Y'all don't obviously realize how much happens. I had an hour conversation with Dark on the phone today, with him and two other people about politics. So we've already played out all of it before talking with y'all. And then the other thing is, if y'all can't tell, I have the gift for gab, and I could go, if I don't fall asleep at my desk, I could go till 2:00 in the morning if I were allowed to.
Oh yeah, we've done done it before. Yeah. I won't keep you that long tonight.
Okay, so politics.
Yeah, so a lot of you guys out in the chat probably know. A lot of other channels had brought this to surface. We had kind of been not like teasing, because the reality is that I'll even back it up a little bit more. So there had been some whispers that there may have been a company ingrained in the 2A space that is fighting against us. And there was even a point where a couple people came in, like Crump's live chat, when he was literally waiting to get concrete, evidence before going public with something, because that is a very damning claim to make against someone. So you want to make sure you got your ammo. You want to make sure you have all information that's available, evidence, and all that, confirmation that it's valid and real and not faked in this crazy AI world that we're in. And there were people saying, stop protecting that silencer company. And I was like, yo, what?
You need to know before you start. You got to realize that what you're doing, and I'm bad about it as well, because I want to immediately jump in and go. You have to realize that what you're doing is you're standing at the corner of a million acres of forest with dry kindling on the ground with a match in your hand. And you got to know goddamn well that's where we're doing the planned burn. We're not just lighting the forest on fire. We need to know that's what we're going to burn. That's where it's going to go. You can't just toss a match into the middle of the woods. You need your evidence. And then there's the other problem with, if you read through these the papers that came out today, they spent $250,000 in a matter of 5 months or something. If they have $50,000 a month they could be throwing at lobbying, they have $50,000 a month they could be throwing at lawyers. So
Yeah, yeah.
you need to be able to say like, no,
Yeah.
no, no, you ain't suing me because I have the evidence.
Yeah, yeah. It would be very easy, especially for a litigious company that's kind of being attacked publicly, to say torturous interference, libel, slander, and all that, right? So I do want to make it very clear,
And they still could bring
for sure.
the way our legal system works is they could still bring any of these suits out, but it makes it very easy to go to the judge the first day in court and go, we're looking for dismissal on this because look, here's all of our evidence. Just give us an early dismissal. So,
and even if they don't, if for whatever reason,
they don't want to get into discovery. That's the other thing that people don't think about when they start getting litigious is discovery is the first phase. Discovery and depositions. Depositions will go public very, very quickly once the case is over. Discovery is going to be nasty if it were to come out with complete hard evidence.
Imagine a request for all digital correspondence regarding silencers
to every single lobbying group. We need to. Also, we're going to have to depose all the people who you paid to lobby. We need them to come in. We're going to have to depose them on camera.
Yep.
Every single lobbyist, we need them to come in and tell us exactly what you told them. It's not going to be pretty.
And X of 200 employees. And that's the other thing too, is that we also have to, remember that this is an organization that, with people that have families with 200 employees and all. So that's why it wasn't just we heard this, this is something that a lot of people, not me, I had nothing to do with finding out the information or anything. I was just kind of on the bleachers while other people found the info. Braden with Langley Outdoors, John Crump, Guns and Gadgets, a lot of other people, were doing stuff, and probably many, many, many more GOA were doing stuff to acquire this information. Now, this, like we said earlier on, this is the closest we've been in the majority of the last century to at least getting items removed from the NFA, if not getting the majority of items removed from the NFA. So some strange things were happening. For an example, GOA was asking for a letter to be signed for these companies that are, in the 2A space, committing to, stating their commitment to, removing these items from the NFA. And a bunch of companies did sign the letter. One of the companies that did not sign the letter was Silencer Central. Now, I kind of did a little play for words in the title where it says, will you still silencer shop at Silencer Central? So a lot of people think that this is Silencer Shop. There's absolutely no evidence to that. This is Silencer Central that where these things are being alleged. So
Silencer Shop would do 10 times more business if silencers weren't on the NFA.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I don't know how that would work, actually. They could still be a middleman. But if you're able to just buy direct from companies and have them sent, well, I guess Silencer Shop would become like Ellipses, would be my guess. If this ever went through, they would become like Ellipses, where
I think their volume would grow.
Their volume would go up, but
yeah.
it might even be easier if they just say, listen, we're not doing direct to customers anymore because we go direct to your dealer. They give them wholesale. Yeah. Things are gonna, if this goes through, things are gonna have to change. But again, this was so short-sighted on Silencer Central's part. And did you want to explain how their business model works and why they might be against silencers coming off the NFA? Because that's important.
Yeah, that's a big piece of this. And there's a couple things. So right before we get to that, one of the reasons why, if you look at suppressors and the way the whole process is, if people are out there aren't familiar with the NFA process, you purchase the item because you have to have a legal reason to undergo the NFA, background check and all that. You purchase the item and then you pay the usually $200 tax stamp. You submit your form 1 or 4 or whatever, if you're a regular civvy like me. And once it goes through what used to be a 9, 12, 13 month process, I think for me the longest one was 13 months. 18 months for you?
18 back in 2014, I want to say.
That's crazy. But then, you finally get the approval. It's like Christmas. You go to your FFL. You still do a 4473 because you're collecting a firearm. Even if it's a suppressor, yes, it's still a firearm because, gay. And then at that point, you get to take it home. A lot of people think like, well, that means the ATF can knock on your door and search, anything at any moment. Have you ever had the ATF come to your door prior to being?
They can't. That's not the way the law works. They wouldn't be able to. I'm an FFL, and I have the inspections aren't even like that for FFLs.
Yeah,
It does technically work like that. Yes, they just knock on your door and say, "Hey, it's inspection time," but it's not. They're not going looking for your 3 SBRs and your 2 suppressors. It's just not. At all. They shouldn't be on the NFA at all.
Agreed. Yeah, there should be literally 0 items on the NFA. There should be no restriction.
4473 should be unconstitutional.
Yeah, 4473s. Any restriction from and there's one other aspect to this that a lot of people haven't discussed, and I've been hesitant to bring it up because I don't want to give people of opposing beliefs any ideas.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's keep it real. Okay. So if suppressors, silencers are firearms, okay, and they're removed from the NFA, so no longer any tax stamp, no longer any registration or anything at all, I'm saying if, right, then in that case, they would just be traditional firearms, which means when you would go to the gun shop, you would say, I would like that one, please. You'd pay for it, do the 4473 and walk out with it. Well, if you're in a free state where you can build guns, you could just make an unserialized suppressor at home.
It's still... The funny thing and this goes back to the pearl clutching and the breaking of people's mental universes, is that happens all the time anyways. Do you know how many illegal machines? Go to Southside Chicago and see many switches are on Glocks.
Crazy.
Nobody cares. They don't care. The criminals are going to do what they're going to do. They don't give a shit about filling out the NFA. And then the funny thing is, once they get caught with those unserialized NFA items, they go before a magistrate and they say, I'm arguing for the Second Amendment. And then they go, yeah, Second Amendment. Have you seen how many of those cases have happened lately?
No.
There was one 2 months ago of a kid that got, and there was some big stink about the internet of like, oh my God, machine guns are legal. No.
That's right.
Got
it was
caught
the
with
criminal
Glock
case.
switch on him. And then he had his lawyer argue that, hey, it's unconstitutional. I'm the Second Amendment. And they're like, yeah,
and they granted it. Yeah.
So you okay? We're still going to charge you with robbing and shooting and felony possession of a fire. All of that's still going to happen, but we're dropping the NFA charge.
Yeah. Well, and with criminal cases, even if that person wins that criminal case, it doesn't set precedence.
I'm gonna have to absolutely make some Assassin's Lobby T-shirts. I saw. Were you the one that somebody posted about that today? Did you see that? There was the Democrats were complaining that, oh my God, who wants these devices off the NFA? The Assassin's Lobby, and it's like, fuck, I need a T-shirt that says Assassin's Lobby on it.
That's awesome.
That's incredible. I need Assassin's Lobby and has like a logo or something. Fuck yeah.
What do they think? I don't understand.
They don't have a concept of these things outside of Hollywood.
Mufflers should be illegal.
Yeah, man. Cars. I can't. What if I can't hear the car coming? I'll get run over.
I know, right?
Electric vehicles need sound devices.
Need fake. Yeah.
They need fake sound on them so I don't get hit by them. Obviously.
Or that we don't hit them. It's for their safety.
Oh, it's for the car safety. Yeah.
What for sure. Can't see it? Or the passengers and drivers. So with all this, there's been a lot of talk. I mean, for nearly a decade about the different ways to get cans off of the NFA and other items. I honestly think, I know we mentioned, all items should be removed from the NFA.
Goonby says I'm straight piping all 5 of my cars tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
I'll know you're coming at least.
Straight headers. Come on, PLA, bud. Good to see you, man. But I mean, only 2 run. Of course, that's gonna be. So this has been a continuous attempt. A lot of people are like, dude, this came out of nowhere. This has been
no.
attempt. In the Hearing Protection Act.
I almost showed this off on Monday night's podcast with Hank Strange.
We're on YouTube. Okay, all right.
These are all of my NFA tax stamps for all my suppressors and SBRs. This is about how long. Oh, here you go. This is about how long they've been trying to get the Hearing Protection Act through. Legitimately,
Yeah.
they've been trying this for a very long time now.
And
these are all my tax stamps in here.
Yeah, I got a little stamp collection too. Probably less than a binder, but
I got about 12, I think.
Yeah, I got about. Oh, and Drew, I got your text. Well, I'll keep that offline. But I got your text, Drew.
I'll straight pipe my Kia Soul. Yes.
Hey, shooting gallery. Good to see you, bud. Lightning McQueen.
Yeah. So no, this isn't out of left field. They've been trying this for a long time. There's always been something in the way, and it's not. It's. Well, we actually do not have the votes. Okay, well, now we have the votes here, but if we push it through, we don't have the votes in the House or the Senate. We're not going to do anything now. Well, we have votes in the House. We don't have them in the Senate, and we're fighting over something else. We can't get it through the Ways and Means. All this other – it's always been one of those ping-pong back and forth. I know Finally, we have the votes literally for everything. We have the – not only that, the Overton window has shifted to where a lot of people own suppressors and don't see them as big scary things like they were in the 90s or 2000s. So the perception has shifted, public opinion has shifted, the president wants to get these things signed, and everything is lined itself up where this could actually happen. Like for the first time in 16 years.
I mean, really since 1934, really. I mean,
yes.
This is the closest we've ever been to getting anything off the NFA. And, for them to pull, so there's the SHORT Act, which encompasses short-barreled rifles, short-barreled shotguns, AOWs, and things like that. If all were pulled off, man, that would be remarkable, because then the only thing left to do that would make sense
is the Hughes Amendment.
Pull machine guns out of there, which they still owe us some amnesty on machine guns anyway, like 45 days. I would be burning through lowers.
You can't believe how many I would find downstairs if they had an amnesty.
I would make lots of things happen. But so with all this, we're seeing all these, YouTubers and all these people, Ammo Land, all these articles coming up, and everyone's saying, like, we need to call these people, we need to put pressure on them. This is the closest we've ever been.
And it's working, by the way. It was working for a long time. Phone lines 2 days ago or whatever. Yesterday was it, when you guys were on with Crump? The phone lines were tied up for like 2 hours. I called because I didn't catch it. I was busy. I didn't catch that video until like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. I called and actually got a person, and the girl was very sweet. She sounded like she was 19 and helping out.
They're super nice.
She was very. I was like, listen, just wanted me and a lot of other people agree. We'd just like to get the Hearing Protection Act in full. And she said, okay, I'll get it along. Thank you. God bless.
You could call and be like, hey, I just want to let you know that I drove a blue elephant to work today, and they'd be like,
okay, thank you. I'll let them know. Have a nice day.
Like that. I think a lot of people.
But the thing is, they're used to nobody paying attention to anything they're doing. They might get 1 or 2 constituents a day giving them a call about whatever the person cares about. And they probably have those nut jobs that call every day. And we say nut jobs. It's a person just gives a shit about something. They were getting so many calls that they didn't know what to do with it, because they didn't have they shut down the phone lines. Which is exactly what the opposing, people of opposing do all the time. We're just quiet and sit back too much
because we're normal, reasonable, logical. It's a totally different. You can see it in someone, or like their demeanor, the way they. People are just very different.
Yes, for sure. Sorry, a mosquito just flew in here, and I just got it.
I enjoy killing mosquitoes.
Yellow flies. It's currently yellow fly season. I don't know if you get those that far north.
Not up here.
Horseflies, big biting horseflies.
Yeah.
They're about half that size, and they're bright yellow, and they are horrendous little creatures. And they grow in the swamp. They lay their eggs in the swamp, and then twice a year they come out for like 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay.
I've learned this year, after living in this house for 8 years now, I've learned that the best way to catch them is to wait, invite them all in during the day when the garage door is open. I wait till like 9 o'clock at night, and then I go out there with the blowtorch, and they're too dumb and slow to fly off the wall real quick. So you just blowtorch each one of them as they're stuck on the wall.
I'm the weirdo that uses an airsoft gun for insect.
I would do that too.
It's
The
so
only problem
fun.
is I would have airsoft BBs all over my garage, and I do have to work out there.
Yeah, so I actually, funny enough, that I don't know why, but like those big old bumblebees that, like, I guess some of them are carpenter bees where they like
Yes,
dig in the
they'll dig
wood.
holes in your wood. Yeah, they're bad. They're
Dude,
bad.
they were
Bad dog.
flying all around the deck out there. So I literally was shooting bumblebees out of the air with a freaking, I was trying to get it on video, but you know, it's not easy.
You gotta make a little bird box and then put, have you seen the things for catching those things?
No.
So it's a little box with a hole in it that attracts them because they look and they're like, oh, wood with a hole. I want to go up there. And then on the inside, it just goes to like a water bottle, and they can't fly back out.
Yeah, I would love to do like
as long
like
as the ones you're using are biodegradable.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. So
yeah, this is the problem. Is we're going to go for 3 hours.
Pest extermination.
So there. Where even were we on this topic?
So basically, there were all sorts of YouTube channels and articles and all this stuff,
telling
like
people
pushing people call,
and it was working.
And it was working, and then basically the GOA had pushed out this letter asking companies to sign, and one of the companies that didn't respond, they were ghosts, was Silencer Central. And I'm just explaining this the way that I was given the information, and all that. So if I get anything wrong, please let me know. I'd be happy to issue a correction. And basically, hey, Robert Ham, good to see you. Basically, the company did not sign the letter, and that made some folks curious. So they started looking into things, and when they looked into things, they found that Silencer Central, yes. And they found that Silencer Central was literally lobbying, but you can tell when people just like maybe haven't like done dirt before, when it's like, I'll use my full name and company name, and I'll put the amount here, and here's an example of one of the lobbying requests. So you can see here, I'll try to do a little zoomy. Let's see. Can you guys see that? Let me check.
$50,000 from Silencer Central. And what did they specifically want?
So,
Jesus Christ! This. Did anybody contact these people?
Yes.
I'm not saying to do that. Don't, like, if you're watching this right now, I'm not saying harass the lobbyists. That's not what I'm saying. But did anybody reach out from and say, hey, can we ask you some questions? What was this about?
There's a lot of that going on, and more to come out soon. Now, all of this is public information. Okay?
Yes, there's nothing secret here.
Yeah, this is all public info. And there's a lot of regulations and restrictions on lobbying, so they have to take note of all this. So it literally says the contact name is Mr. David Anderson, of Silencer Central. Hold on, let me go back here. I'm sorry. David Anderson is the go ahead.
Is Dave Anderson, I think, is the lobbyist.
Is the lobbyist, yeah, sorry. Where
Silencer Central, $50,000, which,
there we go.
Holy shit, I could not imagine writing a check for $50,000 for something I didn't truly believe in.
Could you imagine writing a check like that the day before the Hearing Protection Act is issued?
Yeah,
like, we had to have had information on that.
That's the interesting thing, is that every time,
and then writing 5 more.
I don't know exactly, because I'm not, I don't have the power of autism behind me, but every time one of these came out, there was always something in conjunction with it. Something was coming up for vote. They were working on. There was always something. Which, by the way, talk about a cushy ass job. Could you imagine just sitting in an office waiting for somebody to call you, write you a check for $50,000 so you can go talk to a bunch of politicians? Like, what the fuck?
So, funny thing, I've actually met a lobbyist before who lived in a $14 million home, who was moving to a $20 million home. He said he worked 2 hours a day, and it's insane. So now a lot of people may say, like, well, this could be faked, or this is, you could literally go to the Senate website and pull this up.
It's there. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's multiple. This is just one example, right? But it says Silencer Central is the client name. The amount is $50,000. And here is the damning piece of information, I believe. It says, develop and support suppressor tax stamp conservation legislation.
Yeah, what does that mean? And they've
In-
never so I can't say never because it's been a day, but they have yet to come out and give a quality explanation of what that means.
They
'Cause
finally did today, come out this evening, come out
they
and
didn't
say
come out
that,
with bullshit. They had
oh
another
no,
nonsense.
they came out at another time and they said they did not lobby against the Hearing Protection Act. So now that they've said that, there's no
What
way
does
that
this
they
mean?
can run from this.
What does this mean? What did they lobby for then?
So I think they're just trying to play cleanup, right? Like they're literally walking through the woods with branches tied to their ass, like trying to clean up. But to me, what I see when I see develop and support suppressor tax stamp
I've never heard that before,
conservation.
but I like that.
Well, that's a great way to hide your tracks when you're walking.
I
through the
no,
woods.
no, but I've never heard anybody say that. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, good. I'm glad. Develop and support suppressor tax stamp conservation legislation. In
What does
my
that
eyes,
mean?
what I see is conserving suppressor tax stamps, right? Legislation for the purpose of conserving suppressor tax stamps. There's no other way that, in my opinion, that this could be misconstrued or because some people were saying like, well, it could be the conservation of like marshlands in New Orleans. Or I'm like, what? Like that? I guess there's like a Pitney something like where the tax stamp money goes to something.
I want to know deeper about what they told them to lobby. And that should be very easy for them or anybody, anybody associated with this. It should be very simple for them to come out and be like, here's the notes I took from the meeting. They told us lobby this, this, and this, talk to these people, get this pushed, say that the industry, that should be very simple for them to, you're not just giving out $50,000 without having good notes of exactly what you want done.
Yeah. And I would assume that if somebody does sit down and have multiple meetings and issue a lobbying request like this 5 times or more or whatever, because you also don't have to claim like little like $1,000 lobbying checks, right?
You don't have to claim that.
No. So if it's 1,000, but from what I was told and from what I understand, the way Silencer Central did this was kind of stupid because it literally says Silencer Central.
Yeah, if they wanted to obfuscate
suppressor.
this, there are ways that these things are obfuscated
Absolutely
all the time, so it's true
Have a
intentions are
person
not
get
for
a-
the general public.
Yes, you could have a person, and this may or may not be lawful. I'm just saying, I would imagine what people would do is have a person get a family member to hire an attorney, and then have the attorney,
Do the lobbying.
request it, and to
Yes.
at least do the requesting of it,
You-
and then in that
you
meeting
could
they
put
probably
it-
sign
I mean,
NDAs.
You could put it through multiple layers of obfuscation to at least make it harder to find and not just
Yeah.
the first thing you search comes up.
And I would recommend that you guys go to ammoland.com. You can actually read the entire article that John Crump wrote, and it has multiple documents in there that you guys can see. Also, every other content creator that you get 2A News from has done videos on this. Look, I'm not doing this to get views. I'm not doing this to get anything from anyone at all. Like Babyface P and I are sitting here doing this for free on our own time, right? And
I should be in bed right now.
yeah, I should be doing orders right now. But like it's when someone does something or allegedly is alleged to have done something.
This goes back to that whole thing I said of when the crazy person is in town back 100 years ago, and they did shit. You didn't just say, give them a bit of it. No, they leave town. You got another town over. You're not staying here.
I'm going to leave this up for a second just because some other people are coming in. And, it's interesting, too, because when I was looking this up, I found if you just search, Silencer Central, lobbying, a bunch of stuff pulls up. And there was a Reddit post, and it said
How old was the Reddit post?
r/NFA. Oh, it was like 4 hours ago.
Okay, it's from today. Yeah, okay.
And it said Silencer Central allegedly donated $50K. And this is that they may not know that it was allegedly
Over 5 times.
multiple times. Yeah. It said Silencer Central allegedly donated $50K to lobby against Hearing Protection Act. Locked post. No comments can be posted. Sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of r/NFA. I'm like, more lobbying, more private lobbying. But they said that, this post needed to be moved to somewhere else. So,
the official mega thread, I'm guessing, is what they needed.
Yeah. Which, okay, that could be true. But I thought it was funny that was
You're as old as I am, so you've probably been around the internet forum etiquette for a long time. These people are insane. If you put something outside of where they want it to go, it's fucking all of it's fucking insane.
Yeah, it's dude. Reddit mods and Discord mods are like it's a sad thing. I'm just saying. I love my mods, right? But I'm saying most people, like, if you call someone a Discord mod, like, they get a picture in their head of what that is.
Don't you ever call me a fucking Discord mod, bro? We will have fighting words.
There's actually
that's almost as bad as being like a VR chat guy. I never touched no VR chat. You don't know what that is. Okay.
I didn't know that you can VR chat.
Ain't no VR chat happening around here. I am a normal human.
Yeah,
I'm a Discord mod.
I'm an AOL instant messenger kind of guy. No, but so I was gonna say there's actually I saw this dude wearing a plate carrier and he had a big patch like where usually like sheriff or like police or whatever it is, and it said Discord mod. Like, this big. I was like, that is awesome.
Horrible.
I mean, it's like a joke about it, you know.
Yes, but, it's a joke about being a Discord mod. Yes.
Yeah.
Because they're all nuts.
Yeah.
They're as bad as Reddit or the 4chan janitors. Holy shit! Did y'all talk about the 4chan jannies that all got exposed?
No.
Oh shit! That was a whole big thing like a month ago. 4chan went down and all the janitors got their emails leaked online.
Oof. Dang.
Which janitors are all just people who go in there and clean up 4chan. Which fucking could you imagine doing that job?
Oh, dude, I could not imagine that. Just
they get it back on the bill. Not yet. So how is that working? Because I don't know the ins and outs of. I'm still a little confused about how this all works.
Yeah, I really don't either. So from what I understand, and
Crump tried to fill us in a little bit on it, and I still am like.
Hey, I was reading. I'm behind. I'm talking. Imagine having to read a book and listen to an audio book and engage and read
and comment about it at the same time.
Yeah, come on, man. Give me a second, right?
And you got to click the buttons to get to the comments and do all the stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you're clicking buttons. So it's not back on the list yet. It sounds like from what GOA had on Twitter this evening, X this evening, it sounds as though that tomorrow when they go for the full vote on with the Ways and Means Committee, that it's going to be a no. So they have enough people that have decided that we're going to vote no on the current draft of the bill, which I think then kicks it back to that bill getting discussed further.
Reconciliation or whatever.
Where, the bill will get discussed further. They will re-add the Hearing Protection Act. They will get the votes they need, and then it will move on. I think that's the ideal way. Now, I am not into politics, and I don't know the ins and outs of this, so I could be 100% wrong. And if I am, tell me, and I will correct myself. This is not my thing.
Me too. So there's you. The way you described it is more eloquently than I would have described it. So you could be right. And like you said, if there is anything else out there that like we're reporting incorrectly, we're not reporters. We're just dudes that hammer on guns. He hammers way more guns than I do, though. So I mean, essentially, like there's no guarantee in what condition it would pass. Will cans be removed from the NFA? Will it be a $0 tax stamp? Will it be, it could be changed.
And this is where
like it's going to pass.
This
Some
is where
version.
Dark and I split ways on opinions, because I do. We discussed this the other day a little bit, and See, I've kind of changed my opinion on that whole thing, though, because yesterday or 2 days ago, when I was talking to you about it, like, well, it's still a win. It's technically still a win. Now that I know that now that I know that we truly have the votes, and not only do we have the votes, we have everything going along with us to get all of this done. Going for a $0 tax stamp is not the win that we want.
No.
needs to go all the way. It needs to all the. There's
Honestly, the money is this big of an issue. The government overreach of registration and your name and address and social security number and height, weight, eye color, hair color.
fingerprints.
Yes,
pictures.
fingerprints. The government overreach is the issue. Now, would I be upset if honestly I probably would be upset. I would be unhappy if all we get is a $200 reduction, right? But they're still in the NFA. I would not be happy with that. Is it a slight improvement?
It is an improvement. There is an improvement there.
But
It's
I
not
wouldn't
what
be
we
happy.
want, though. I don't even, I don't even want to put that into people's heads that, okay, this is all right. I don't want people to think that, if we lose at this last moment, it's all right. We still got a win out of it because we're so close. The 10 suppressors that I have in my business safe right now, I can almost take. All I would have to do. I've been sitting on those cans for a better part of like 7 or 8 years. All I'd have to do is a 4473 background check and give them to myself.
Yeah.
Here in the state of Florida, that's $6. It's $5 for the background check and a single dollar to pay for the background check using a credit card, because whenever I have to pay my background check fees, it's a convenience fee of $1.
Yeah.
Use my debit card. It would be $6 for me to transfer 10 cans into my name. And then all my other cans, I would immediately call the ATF and be like, I want all those records destroyed. They're no longer on the NFA. They're no longer blah, blah, blah. I want everything expunged, erased. I don't own any of those things according to y'all. You hear me?
So you can call them, right? But like us plebes have to actually submit an official letter. Don't you guys just have to email them and be like, hey, I'm making a machine gun?
Oh yeah. It's called a Form 3.
Yep.
So yeah, for all the machine guns that I have out there, that's the difference between plebes and paying $500 a year plus $150 a year for your SOT and your FFL. Hold
on, I thought it was $1,500. Hold on, so it's $500 and $150?
It's $150 every 3 years and $500 a year for your SOT. It's not expensive at all. There's no reason. If you're in business, the only thing the ATF cares about is that you are in business to do business. They don't want people just to do their own
personal stuff. Yeah, no.
You need to be in business.
I mean,
for me, the funny thing about my business is I don't do gun transfers. I'll do them. Like if somebody wants to use me as their FFL to transfer, I'm happy to do it for you. It's not skin off my back. It's just there are shops around here that have marketed themselves to do that more.
Yeah.
So nobody thinks about me as their FFL. But yeah, if anybody's in North Central Florida and wants a transfer, it's $20. Every shop around here is $35 to $45. $20. As many things as you want. If you want to bring in 10 items and have me put that on the 4473, I don't give a fuck. It's $20 because it's the same amount of work for me. I don't care.
Dude, out here they charge $50.
Yeah, I know.
And
it's insane.
For a member, if you're a member, then it's $25. Dude, but at XCal, shout out to XCal, love y'all, which is going to be the second store carrying definition knives. The member transfer price is $17. It's $15 plus $2 for the Virginia State Police background.
You guys use Virginia State Police? Yeah, we use the Florida FDLE. We use the FDLE system. Which, by the way, did you know the NICS system is free? The FBI system is free.
Yeah, so that's free.
This is just a scammy way for the state to make money.
Yeah, just because so they do have human beings that actually review them and approve them.
You want to hear something crazy about Florida? I don't know how
just they're doing nothing anyway.
But we have one person in the entire state of Florida who is her entire job is dead, and this is what I've been told. So take this with a grain of salt. One lady, her entire job only is background checks. Now the background check system here in Florida basically gives any FDLE employee that is a certain credential unlimited overtime. So if you want overtime, middle of summer when nobody wants to do overtime, background checks take forever. Like mine, because I'm a business, I have an FFL, I have all the other shit. Mine takes 45 to an hour to get my background done. Just before Christmas, fucking 6 minutes out the door. It's because they have everybody wanting to make overtime for Christmas money. So there's one dedicated person here in Florida that does all the background checks. And then every other position is filled by overtime employees that, hey, do you want to do background checks today for 3 hours? Hop on the computer and do background checks, clock in and make extra money.
Nice. I usually get delayed for at least 30 minutes.
45 for me. We'll get through as part of the reconciliation. Every other version will be filibustered, and there's no filibuster in reconciliation. It's a simple majority vote. So there isn't. We don't have to worry about filibuster, which is good.
It seems like from what you just said, and from Crump, you and Crump echoing the same thing. It seems like it is going to pass. But
something will pass 100%. Something
the
one of these things will pass 100%. It would seem. It's just
and we have the votes. We have the votes, but
and we have the will.
So think of this. So if a company was out there lobbying and paying $50,000 a month for 5 months, and I heard it was like $250K or so, but it could always be more if it was the smaller denominations over 50 times, like who knows, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it was at least that $50,000 5 times, which they could have, this is what drives me nuts. Like you could have invested that into your company. You could have invested that into shifting to a different model.
That's 2, 3. You could buy 4 or 5, maybe 6 used CNC machines.
CNC machines. That's what I'm saying.
You could probably get 6. And that's one of the comments I made earlier is it's so short-sighted. Sorry, I'm turning on the fan because I'm getting hot. It's so short-sighted for them to do shit like this because so you're going to have to shift your business plan. That's what businesses do all the time. This isn't weird for people to have to shift. Listen, this was working for the last 6 years. The market's shifted. We have to make a change. That's what you do as a CEO is you make those decisions.
Yeah.
And you move into, listen, we're going to sell every can that we can make for the next 3 to 5 years because everybody's going to buy every single one we can produce. We're going to start third shifts. Who wants to learn to run a CNC machine? We will pay you to go get your CNC stuff. Go start running third shift, and you're going to make huge money for us. Thank you. So
many so many cans are 3D printed now with steel and Inconel and all. So when people hear that, right, we're not talking about like PLA tabletop stuff. We're talking about like $1,000 kilos of metal powder filament out of steel metal and Inconel. Yeah, I mean and I do think within the next 5 years we'll probably be doing that in home at an affordable rate. Because of how crazy fast we've grown. I think we'll get there, at least close.
It's the technology. The only thing is combining a bunch of different technologies to make that exist. All it is a CNC welder and powder. And it's just a bunch of different technologies that have been around since the 80s, 70s. Yeah. So it's just a matter of shrinking them down and making them small enough to where you can have them at home. But yeah, you're probably right. Anyways, that's all.
So imagine if cans were taken off the NFA.
Yeah, and you could just print them at home.
Bro. And that's why all these, new great cans that were are coming out are so much smaller and higher rated, pressures are higher rated.
You can also make things. You can also make designs, internal baffle designs.
Tools can't get into.
That tools can't make. You can't spin that on a CNC.
Mm-hmm.
This is a bit of a different topic, but this opens up the ability by moving into 3D printed cans that actually work well. This moves us into we can actually take a step forward in baffle technology that we haven't been able to do since 1912. The muffler design that we're using on cans, the K baffles. Things like that, none of that has changed since literally the only thing we've improved upon is metallurgy. That's it. It's the same basic technology, which again, it's the same concept, but with 3D printing, we can actually improve upon baffle design to do really, really unique things like back pressure.
Dude, and there's like 2 millimeters of space
by the way,
between.
I'm gonna throw this out there for all of y'all. None of you need a flow-through can. So stop spending so goddamn much money on a flow-through can. You don't need it.
I don't have any, but I do enjoy brushing the carbon off
Are you shooting a machine gun? You don't need a fucking flow-through can. Stop spending $1,800, $1,200 on these stupid-ass flow-through cans that you do not need.
So I don't have any flow-through cans, but I do have a couple things with binary triggers and an FRT. And
okay, well, I take that back. Now that we are moving into the FRT territory, flow-through cans will work well for you FRT folks. Yes.
So does it not work?
I forgot about that.
Does it not work as well? Like, do you not notice it? Because I've shot a couple, but
semi-auto, you're not going to notice it because the point of it is to slow cyclic rate and eliminate some bulk bounce and stuff like that, which your finger's not fast enough.
Yeah.
Jerry Mitchell, like your finger ain't fast enough. But now that we have FRT and things like what's the one with the little thing that breaks? Super safeties and stuff like that actually work really well. Flow through cans, I guess, are. Now that I'm changing my tone completely. If you got one of those or plan to get one of those, flow through cans are pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess it also depends. Like, man, I couldn't imagine being a left-handed shooter with an AR with a can. Like, even as a right-handed shooter, if like with my binary trigger, dude, I'm just like, wah, like it's running, you know. So like, or the FRT. When I went from a 30 cal can to a 5.56 can, and that diameter
is right
dude,
up the nose.
Yeah, it was crazy. I had to like brush my teeth after the range trip. I had like carbon, you know.
Yeah.
But I've only shot flow through cans like range days, IV88 and whatever. I didn't
when you're going fast, they're better. I don't think the benefits you can get around the benefits of like gas in the face with other things, gas buster charging handles or other stuff where they're not as beneficial. Now, like I said, if you are doing it full auto, if you're doing FRTs or binary as well, it does help. It will help. Oh, back to your previous thing. Yeah. So the interesting thing for y'all that aren't aware, the privilege that I pay for, all of y'all out there that are not SOTs, you request permission to transfer an item. So the form 4 is, or even a form 1 is requesting permission to create/transfer. As a SOT, all you say is, hey, I made this machine gun. Have a nice day. That's all it is. I made an M4. It's in the safe.
Here's a serial number.
And then then 3 or 4 days later, I get a note back that says, okay, it's been approved. It's like, bitch, I don't need your approval. I pay $500 a year to not need your approval.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't rent, which
that's one of the benefits. We own this house. And my garage, as much as my wife probably hates not being able to park in there, my garage is my shop.
It's worth it. The benefit that you get. CNT, Stifler, great to see you guys.
The SOT less so. The SOT, I build machine guns and have built machine guns, so I know how they function. So when like the range around the corner owns 25 different machine guns, and who fixes them when they go down? I do. I re-weld them. I fix them if they break. Because that's money for them. You know, that's having a machine gun on the wall is big rental money. So they want them always running. So I'm the one that fixes them. So I need to, my argument has always been, even when Marley was like, why are we making machine guns? Which, first off, when I gave her the machine guns to shoot, she's like, okay, these are pretty fucking cool.
Like, okay, now I get it.
Yeah. Even then it's like, well, I need to know how they work. I need to know how they go together so I can help diagnose when they break and fix them. So it's beneficial for me to have them in the library.
So did you and I talk about the life hack to lawfully, as an 0702 SOT, making a full auto Glock?
Yeah. Or not a switch, but a simplified.
Simple. Yeah. Okay.
I haven't done
it
yet. I have one sitting here on my desk that I probably should full auto. But
next time I get there to the SOT that I'm referring to, that's not me, because I do not break any laws, rules, regulations, restrictions, sanctions, or ordinances.
We're under too much.
Yeah, dude, just me putting my face out here is like,
they know who we are. I'm sure my name. I'm sure your name probably more than me because you do this all the time. But I'm sure all of our names have come up in conversations somewhere at the AGM.
You know it. But next time I get in there, what I'll do is when I'm at the FFL, I'll be like, hey, can I take a look at that? I'll strip it off and I'll send you a quick picture
of it.
Yeah, because I mean, it takes a little bit. It's like you got to lay the weld, and then you got to.
They have two. The range that I work for here, and when I say work for, I'm their contract gunsmith. I don't actually work for them. Yeah, I'm my own business. When stuff breaks, or if they have customers that want stuff, I will come and pick it up and work on it. I think they have 2 switches. They have one currently on a 17 and one, by the way, the coolest thing, on a Glock 44 and 22, which is
nice,
wicked cool.
I've seen a dude dual wielding, and it's just like.
Yeah, they're super cool. The compensated Glocks are even better. Actual Glock 18s, or if you do a Glock 17C with a switch, runs great.
17C
compensated with the boarded barrels. Those things
with the 2 little kitty cat slits. You know, they started making those again.
34C, a 34 compensated.
Oh yeah,
fantastic.
Those are dope. You know, they started making those again in Gen 3.
Oh God, that's funny. Yeah, Gen 3. Oh, actually, that just reminded me. I gotta work on. I got my Glock certification
Oh yeah.
like a
That's
month
right.
and a half ago, and the paperwork has never showed up. So I need to go track that down because I'm technically
Oh wow,
Glocks for the next 3 years. I'm Glock certified.
sweet, dude.
So I need
Get
to go
this.
track that paper.
So if you look at the old 19Cs, they're just a standard, 19 slide, whatever, and then they have the two little cuts at like
Vince.
11 and 1, and they're just little rectangles. However, the new ones, it appears that I guess the way that it was explained is there's like a little notch cut in the barrel because like over time I guess we got to look at it and pull it up, but the way to identify the brand new ones aside from serial numbers is there's like this notch cut in the barrel of the T in the slide jamming into the hood of the barrel like a bajillion times, so it's actually like a little like indent machined into it. It's kind of cool. I noticed this. I was like, hold on, what is this? This was not on the original Gen 3 Cs. I don't believe it's on the 19. I believe it was on the 17.
It's only on the 17. Okay, I was looking at a 17.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I was looking at 19. Let me pull up the 17. New Glock 17C.
20C mastery. They had a 20C there too. And because of all the changes Glock is making, it's nuts. You're gonna start seeing, if you haven't seen them already, a lot of boxed, very nice boxes actually, OEM Glock slides that are complete but no barrel, no recoil spring.
Why is that?
Because they stopped making things like the 23, the 17,
and they have all the parts. They have tons of parts sitting around that they're going to sell.
Yeah, so now what they're doing, because they're trying to make as many frames usable for as many slides and barrels as possible.
They want generic.
Exactly. So
which never made sense to me why the 19 and 17 had different locking locations.
Yeah,
should have had it the same forever.
But. Yeah, and
listen, I don't dabble in horse semen. I'm not a Glock engineer. I'm not a professional Glock.
I enjoy
semener. It's just a good, healthy snack. But
I'm not. I don't enjoy the semen. I enjoy the Mike McClune. But so the cool thing is that let's say you came across $100 Gen 3 frame, right? Mm-hmm. You can get a Gen 3 MOS slide and then just drop a barrel. Yeah, so it's one of the cool things because a lot of people aren't down with Gen 5s, or if they're in places where they can't even get Gen 5s, like so many other
That's why
states.
Gen 3s are still produced. California market is the reason why Gen 3s are still in production. Otherwise, they would have gone away probably 20 years ago.
I love Gen 3s.
Gen 3s, I, for the longest time, said that Gen 3s were the best Glocks ever produced until 3 days ago when I got a Gen 2, and now I'm kind of thinking Gen 2s are the best Glocks ever produced.
Gen 2s are great.
They don't have the finger grooves, and they're otherwise as good as Gen 3s. This Gen 2 17 that I just got, I really like it. And, by the way, anybody out there in the comments, if anybody has a Gen 1 that they'd like to make a pretty penny on of and move, I would be happy if you sent it to my FFL because I would love to buy it off.
Yeah, I would love one of those. I've always wanted a Gen 1.
Yeah. I will find myself a Gen 1 probably sooner than later now that I have a 2. And then this next problem is, okay, now I'm going to have to go buy a 3, a 4, and a 5 because I have a couple of 19s, but I've gotten rid of most of my other Glocks. Now I'm like, well, I might as well just start collecting all the Glock 17s because they're probably one of the most ubiquitous guns ever made, and they're just good.
So that one of my questions was going to be, how much time have you spent behind a Gen 5 Glock? Have you shot many of them?
No, I don't think I've ever shot a Gen 5 Glock. I got to learn all about them from a Glock Armorer's course, but they made some changes. They did some stuff. The problem I have with Glock is sometimes it feels like they make upgrades just so things aren't compatible from the previous generation, if you know what I mean. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which pisses me off because it's not necessarily an improvement.
Yeah,
it's like iPhone stuff. I can't put the same case on this phone as I can from the phone last year, next year. And they do that shit on purpose, so you
Or
can't buy
like
the same.
USB-C charger and lightning charger and all that. Dude, and the funny thing is that for Gen 1, 2, 3, 4,
all of it
compatible, excluding
before they changed the guide rod, which
yeah.
was a pretty nice improvement. The dual guide rod, a little less.
Which technically they just adopted the guide rod that the 26, 27, and 33 had always used. A dual reinforced steel recoil spring.
Correct. They had been using that. I forgot about that.
Yeah. But the slides aren't compatible. Magazine releases aren't compatible, but for the most part, internals are compatible.
24 saw Babyface P new Gen 1. He got the Tupperware on Monday show. Oh no, Gen 2, not Gen 1. I want a Gen 1, but it's a Gen 2.
So just so you know, you're aware of the reproduction Gen 1s, right?
Yes, I don't.
Okay. All right.
I don't want a reproduction Gen 1.
Yeah,
I'm kind of weird about that. I want a real Gen 1.
I want a Gen 1. Yeah.
They're technically, they're not the same thing because they're not doing Tenifer anymore.
Yeah.
I don't think they're legally allowed to do Tenifer because I believe the EPA shut that shit down.
Death. Yeah.
So I don't think it's probably as close to Tenifer as they can get, but Tenifer is no longer EPA allowed.
Yeah, I got some Tenifer Glocks.
Yeah, it looks really good and it wears really nicely. It's got like a nice. Yeah. Supposedly, I talked to. Oh, dude, there is one on Gunbroker right now, a Gen 2, and in the buy it now. I'll send it to you later. The buy it now.
Gen 2 or Gen 1?
It's Gen 2. It's a Gen 2. It has nothing to do with the 1. It's Gen 2, and it says DC Metropolitan Police.
That's right. Yeah.
Marking on the side that you thought was cool.
Yeah.
There's one currently sitting on there. It might even be a Gen 1. I'll send it to you when I find it later. And it has the laser, or I guess not laser because of when it was made. It has the
engraving.
So the rumor on the internet is that all of these Gen 2s that hit the market 6 to 7 months ago were all DC guns.
Yeah, I've seen. You can see the shine in the polymer.
Bro,
you can see
how the fuck are they all? And the one that I just got had two. It had one LE law enforcement magazine, which tells you it's probably 94 to 2004. So it's a pretty old magazine.
Yep.
And then it had 2 Gen 5 mags in the box. Somebody was carrying this gun a year ago.
Yeah.
Some poor cop couldn't even put a light on this son of a bitch.
Dude,
in DC.
I would see it literally. I would.
They
if
had
I
Gen
ever went
1
out to
to Gen
DC,
2s.
Absolutely. Well, so I didn't see Gen 1.
They have so much money.
They do, but Muriel Bowser
doesn't want them having new guns.
Yeah, no, they're not worried about that. And plus, honestly, the cops in DC don't do anything, right? They don't. Okay, so there's like, and I know we're getting on a whole nother thing, right? But like, they literally. I know. Sorry,
it's already Friday.
They love it.
At least in our time zone. In my time zone, it's Friday.
Yeah. Over here, if you're on the West Coast, we are in the future.
It's still Thursday for you.
Yeah. But the cops will literally like surround a like a neighborhood like Potomac Gardens housing projects where it's literally like a open air heroin crack market, right? And they'll literally all these dudes will sit out on the yard within the wrought iron fences with ski masks on, middle of the summer, right? Gloves on, ski masks on, and they'll be out there yelling, I got that this and that. I got that, man down. I got that Obama. I got that, like yelling out what kind of drugs they got. And
DC
the cops, they will not do anything. But then when they see like a white boy walk in or walk up to the projects, woo! Like they'll all come in and they're like, we know what you're here for.
This is like, have you ever watched the HBO's The Wire?
The Wire, dude.
This is like that couple episodes in The Wire where they're like, we don't give a fuck what you do. Go that corner over there. You can sell whatever you want. Just don't come back over here.
Yeah, dude, that's how it is. As long as they're there and only killing themselves and each other, they don't care. But the moment that other people come in, which they'll probably be judged for, if a white guy from an hour away in a super rich neighborhood dies from DC drugs, then it becomes an issue, But it's crazy.
There was and again, we're going to go further off topic.
I used to be out in those neighborhoods from The Wire, Swan Drive, Route 40, Edmondson Avenue. Those are my spots.
Did you live in Baltimore at some point?
So I live in this triangle called, more like a pentagram, but I live in this triangle that they call the DMV, which is DC, Maryland, and Virginia.
Yeah.
It's kind of like living in a tri-state area, like, you know, New Jersey, New York.
They're all
whatever.
close enough where you just interact with everything.
Yeah, it's just
how
like
that works?
you could, like, you know, 30 minutes that way is DC, 30 minutes that way is Cow Country, 30 an hour and some change that way is Bmore. So like it was when I used to be, you know, not a good person and into, you know, not good stuff. It would just be a drive away to get that kind of stuff. But now that I'm a totally, you know, clean.
It's so
you know,
bizarre to me that again, we're gonna have so many full circle that my universe just gets exploded. But I know it's out there. I know all of it's out there, and I know I could find whatever I needed to if I ever wanted to. I don't have any interest in it. That's not my. I've told my wife so many times she's lucky that one, I'm into guns. Both of our parents, her father, my family, they're into cars, and fucking cars get expensive. Best. My dad has because he's an old codger, he grew up in his prime time was the 70s and 70s cars. So he has fond memories of all the American supercars from the 70s. Of course, you know, him being well retired, he bought himself a Hellcat Red Eye a couple years ago.
Oh, wow.
And he never drives it. I think it has 500. It's like 3 years old and it has 500 miles on it.
Dang, that's crazy.
But yeah, I've told her, I was like, you're lucky I'm not into cars because those car dudes spend so much more money.
Oh, it's crazy.
And then on the flip side, I was like, I'm not into drugs or hoes or cheating or none of that shit. Like, I don't want any of that. Just let me spend my $500 every now and then on a gun. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, and we get very happy off these little small, like, ooh, I got this, and it has this.
You saw the one I got today. Can I show pictures of guns?
You can show pictures of guns. Yeah, as long as they're not being handled. That's.
It's on my Instagram. If anybody wants to go look at my Instagram,
dude,
Dark was so excited for this, and him and I might wheel and deal. We'll see.
They know how much I love blue Kel-Tecs.
Do you really? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, so blue is like the whole channel theme color. Like I got a bunch of blue guns.
Yeah, so this is a Kel-Tec PF9 in that Kel-Tec navy blue. And I had a customer call me maybe a month ago, and she was like, "Hey, I have this gun. She was in the military. My hands don't work super well. I can't rack it. I can't shoot it. Can I come take a look at it and see if you can lighten the springs?" She brought it by, and I was like, "First off, lady, it's a Kel-Tec.
Yeah.
This isn't a 1911. This is
no
a Kel-Tec. There ain't no lightening the springs on this."
Yeah.
Like, well,
I could snip the sear spring on the bottom.
Yeah. She was like, "Well, I just don't like it." And I was like, I mean, you can sell it. There's the market for these things are always great. Thank you, Kurt24, for linking my Instagram. Market for these things are always, they're easy enough to get rid of if you want. And then she texted me about a week later and was like, "Hey, you mentioned that you know, they're kind of cool and you don't mind those. Do you want to buy it?" And I was like, "Yeah, okay. How much?" She goes, $100. You want to buy it for $100? And I was like,
ding, ding, ding. How many you got?
Yeah, I was like, I will always buy it's not a great gun, but I will always buy $100.
They work. They work.
Fucking work. It's like High Points. They're shitty, but they fucking work.
They do. And I'll tell you, like, they bark. Like, I mean, boo, boo. Like it's a handful.
But it's to me for $100, and maybe that's a bit of my my wealth here. I don't mean to flex on anybody, but $100 is kind of that's my throw around money. Like if $100 gun walks in, I'll be like, "Here's $100. I don't care."
I would almost always buy a $100 gun, even if it's something like to be able to tell a story. Like, dude, I got this little broken vest pocket.
It's $100.
Yeah.
So yeah, I picked it up and I was like, it's a boat right now until I send it off to Dark's FFL. It is it's just a boat gun. It's a trunk gun. It's one of those where it's like if it ever were to fall overboard while you're out in the water, you don't really care too much because it's a $100 pistol. Yeah.
Yeah. Those were 8+1 or 7+1?
7+1.
7+1. Yeah.
And I've never heard of them really breaking or not working. They work. I've
work
had just fine.
A bunch of them, and they've always worked. And it's the same style of system as the P3ATs.
I have a P3AT as well. I have a George Zimmerman gun in the safe. It's the same green and everything.
Oh, nice. The P11?
No, he didn't have a P11. He had a P3AT, I thought.
No, hold on, no.
He had a P3AT. Zimmerman was a P3AT, wasn't it?
No, it was a 9mm. So I think it was actually a P11.
Oh, that is even before the PF9, right?
Which really, I want a PF40.
Did
Or
they
no,
make that?
P40. Yes, very small run. It's a P11, so it's 10 plus 1 or 12 plus
Terrible,
1. Yeah, for 9mm, it's 10 plus 1 or 12 plus 1. But they made a 40 cal, and then they just very quickly stopped making them.
The gun that killed Trayvon Martin. It's a Keltec PF9.
PF9, okay.
Black. He had a black PF9.
I wasn't sure if it was the P11 or PF9, but I knew it was a 9mm. Good night, Misty. Good seeing you.
They say this article was from 2016, and they said knew that gun was about $350. Fuck, I paid $100 for mine. Blah blah blah.
You were right. Honestly, Unit 16.
That Dan Zimmerman had PF9. Okay, so
yeah.
But that blue, and I even told her, I was like, you might get a little bit more money out of it because of that blue, which is not common. I don't think Keltec's even hardly using it anymore.
Yeah, they did small runs of like the
blue Cerakote
30. I think it's actually blue polymer. I don't know if it's Cerakote.
Blue Cerakote.
Really?
And you can buy it.
Mine,
if you go to Cerakote, it's literally called Keltec Navy.
Yeah. So funny thing, my sub 2000, I actually had to remove some material. Yeah, I have a blue Keltec sub 2000. Yeah. It's kind of cool. But I had to remove some material, and I started shaving it away, and it's blue underneath. Like
yours is molded then.
It is a blue.
This one has a chip out of the grip, and it's white. Where that chip is white polymer.
It kind of looked painted when I saw it, because it almost has like a little kind of like.
All of them are like that, though. Most of them are like that. I wonder if at some point they changed from doing blue Cerakote to molded. Yeah, blue moldings. Yeah, which you think would be easier for a molding company.
I know, like that's
painting and having a dude back there painting white grips, you know?
Yeah, dude, that means if you take some acetone to it, you could have a white PF9, which I've never seen in my life.
Yeah.
You know, but it would probably melt the plastic too.
Yes.
You know.
But no, yeah, it was one of those that walked in and I was like, when a deal walks into you, somebody offers you something, just buy it. You know?
Yeah.
I told Marley, I was like, worst case, okay, so this is one of those guns that it's either a boat gun where if it falls overboard, I don't feel bad, or two, if somebody, a friend of a family member comes along and goes, hey, I just need something to defend, blah, blah. This has been sitting in the safe, it was $100. You don't even need to pay me for it. Here you go. You know? Yep. That sort of thing.
Or worst case, sell it for $200. You know,
I'm just going to find your local FFL and ship it to you.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, they also discontinued the PF9.
So, I know, which is crazy because it was a good. I mean, again, it wasn't anything nice, but it served a purpose and it worked well. They traded it out for that P17.
Yeah, that came much later.
Yeah, late. But it's got like a grip safety and some weird shit, and it's not my.
Yeah, not my thing. I honestly, I don't even remember. I don't know. I've handled them before, but it's just not my thing. Like the reason that the Keltec PF9 was cool and the P3AT is because at that time there weren't guns that were we just went from 65 viewers to 38. Holy moly!
What happened? Everybody go to bed?
Now it's 40.
Oh,
something weird is going on with the.
We had 65 people watching us talk about fucking nonsense.
Dude, we've been having about 70 people in here the whole time.
God damn. Hey, all 70 of you. Chrome Vandium. You guys.
Yes, Chrome
Vandium. Send me a. Oh, you can't even see that because it's too dark. If you guys are looking to get projects worked on, give me a call. Right now, my timeline is spacing out a little bit. We're up to about 3 to 4 weeks, but there's still certain things I can get done very quickly if you're looking for it.
Dude, that's crazy. I mean, it was literally like. That's crazy.
YouTube's had some sort of hiccup or something.
Yeah.
Oh, Ruger Murphy's losses. Ruger P89.
Oh.
Don't ever try to take one of those top sides apart. I had to do it for a customer.
P15. Yeah, no. Don't they literally have a?
It is horrendous.
Like one of those crazy pins holding it all together or something like that.
You gotta knock a pin out. The two safeties have to come out. The decocker safety thing has to come out. The entire rear sight has to come off, which allows 2 springs and pins to come out, and then a bunch. It is an absolute nightmare to take apart. I learned a whole lot of lessons. There was a guy that sold one to the local pawn shop that I've also. Again, when you're in a small town, I'm in Gainesville, Florida, but it's still not a huge town.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't
When you're
realize
in a
you were
town,
that close to Hanky Panky.
yeah. Oh no, I'm 45 minutes from Hank. I'm not that far.
Oh, okay.
When you're in a town like this, and I'm the only gunsmith in North Central Florida, you get a lot of calls for a lot of weird stuff. Somebody brought one in, and I'm guessing he tried to deactivate the magazine safety.
Oh,
But to do that, you need to do the work inside the grip and not inside the slide. And he basically fucked the whole thing up. Somebody took it apart and just ground the magazine safety till it didn't actually function anymore. So all that did was it doesn't allow it to actually push out of the way of the firing pin, so it wouldn't work. The gun just stopped.
my goodness.
So the guy brought it in and was like, it don't shoot. It's like, yeah, it doesn't shoot. It's because you fucking took it to a Dremel tool to it, and it does. You dremeled the wrong stuff. That's not how this works.
All those dang old certified Dremel smiths.
Yeah, so I ended up taking the whole damn thing apart, and the simple answer was, does he want me to just take the safety out? If he doesn't want the magazine safety, I just remove it from the top of the slide and put the whole slide back together, and he can have it back, and it will fire without a magazine in it. And they're like, nah, make it good again. And I was like, fucking okay, I'll order the part and take it apart and put it. But somebody didn't want this to exist, and that's why it's been dremeled.
Dude, the P89, like just the cool, like the two-tone with the stainless slide.
They have an aesthetic to them that is very cool to me.
The only thing I will say, I did carry a P89. I had a P90. I had a P95. All of those guns have one thing in common, which will get people in trouble if, God forbid, if you carry it appendix, but it could, in any, carrying at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, whatever strong side, it could still cause a problem. The issue is that the magazine release is a lever that you push forward, right?
It's
instead of a
so
button.
It rocks.
Yeah,
it rocks on a pin forward. It was very weird.
So if you think of at the time, actually, and I may have it because I was showing it off the other. Oh, I got it. Okay, so I have the crappiest holster in the world that I bought for $20 like 20 years ago, and I literally still use it from time to time. Really, I usually just carry my Glocks in the Fat Tac holster, but yeah, and check out fattac.com. But anyway, we got like 60 people in here now. That was weird. It was like, I think it was a YouTube glitch. Yeah.
They have hiccups.
But what happened was when I was actually starting to practice like drawing it and shooting and all that. I mean, with the P95, dude. I really want a Ruger P345. If you ever come across one of those,
that's what it was. It was a 345. It was not a P89. It was actually a P345. That's what I worked on. Yep.
Dude, that I literally was it the stainless slide?
Yes.
Oh,
solid. It was all stainless, if I remember correctly.
Dude, well, usually the frame is polymer in the 345.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. The slide was stainless though.
Yeah, those are cool. And they're single stack. They're not
Murphy's
fancy.
Law, Middleburg, Florida. Are you in Middleburg, Murphy's Law? Anyway, sorry.
P97. I haven't seen P97. But the issue with the whole magazine release thing is that depending on how you're carrying it, even in an appropriate holster, when you're drawing it out, it's
you're dragging
easy.
You're dragging it forward.
So once you punch out, the magazine's like, eep, and it's gone, right?
You get one round,
Yeah. As long as you carry a round in the chamber,
Yeah.
So that there is something to keep in mind. But
Black Diamond Josh has family in Middleburg, man. You got to come visit, and Hank's not far. I mean, we're a little far, but it's not that far.
Central Florida in the house. Red Dawn Readiness, yeah. He's
Central Florida, yeah. If you guys need gunsmithing services, I'm in Gainesville. I'm not far, and if you look at the website, I am very, very reasonably priced. I tried to make myself extremely aggressively priced to bring in
very and there's like, okay, so talk about some of your focuses. Obviously this is not all you do everything. AR, you could do anything.
I can build out anything. I have a CNC machine. If you have to have a fully custom build AR-15, I could technically mill you out. Can I say the word ghost gunner? I don't know. I have a little mini CNC machine that turn out
desktop CNC
that I use to turn it. Well, I use it to make machine guns, so that's how I know it works correctly. Is my M4 and my 9mm machine guns downstairs are both turned off of that. So, but yeah, so I can technically do that. I also build for a long time. For the first year, I specialized in doing AKs, doing com block builds. That has really slowed down for some reason, and I don't know exactly why, but that's been a lot slower. But I have
feel like the
found,
pricing of that world has gone crazy. Like the
yeah,
price
maybe.
of guns and kits.
The
And,
parts kits have gotten too expensive, so your
Yeah.
average guy doesn't want to spend money. When you can go to
Yeah.
PSA and buy one for like $8.99 sometimes.
yeah.
And those PSA AKs, I don't talk shit about them. They work very well. So
Yeah.
in the last year, I've been in business for a year and a half now, and in the last 8 months to a year, I've learned that I actually really, really enjoy the local gunsmithing side. So
Mhm.
you bring a gun and say, hey, it ain't doing this. My favorite question to ask people on the phone, which I've done this for years, because I worked IT, I worked support IT for a
Have
long
you
long
tried
time.
turning it off and turning it back on?
My favorite question to ask over the phone is, what's it doing and or not doing? What's it doing or what's it not doing? What's it supposed to do and what's it not doing?
Yeah.
So that's my favorite question, and it's usually you get a good answer of it's not doing this or it is doing this, and it's like, okay, I can fix it.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, we can do a full conversion. It depends. There's kind of 3 different levels to Saiga conversions.
Mhm.
The most expensive, we tear everything out. The back end specifically, we tear the back end apart. And I've done a couple of these for customers. It's not a huge deal. We tear the back end out. We put a new trunnion in. We weld up the old holes for the fire control group. We rivet. So then we rivet a new trunnion, rivet a new back section, and put the new stuff in. And then usually you need to do a repaint because there's holes that
You're punching new hole.
I just TIG welded up holes and put new holes in, so it's going to look ugly. I can do it without, but you were talking $400-$500, something like that for a back end conversion, depending.
Dude, that is
it might be less. I don't remember.
very reasonable.
And that includes welding and paint and everything. And then the other, the cheapest way you can go is if you want to do just your simple conversion, you can get the parts from Carolina Shooter Supply, and they have little plastic caps that go in that kind of conceal the holes for where the old trigger mechanism was. And then everything else is kind of screw in, bolt in, and it makes it look correct. It's just correct from about 5 feet away. But yeah, I can do any of that. Can you bend an MP5 flat? I can. I have the tooling, I have the knowledge, I have the welder to do MP5 builds. I do not work from flats anymore for people because it's just too much effort and the money isn't there. I usually tell people if you're going to buy one, if you're going to build an MP5, build off of a completed PTR receiver. They do all of the hard work and they're not expensive. You can get them for the amount of money you're going to pay me plus the money that you have in that flat. It's going to be cheaper. It's legitimately going to be cheaper for you to go to PTR and buy one of their flats. Or actually, last I looked, Zenith had flats, had receivers ready to go that had everything done to them. They were super nice. So that's my opinion on that.
And for people that don't know, for the MP5s, the lower is not the serialized portion. The upper is the serialized portion.
It's the metal.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
want to add this really quickly.
On 10 millimeter.
Just to kind of add, oh man, I would love to have a 10.
You need to have me on another night, and you should do just bring me on for an hour, and we will just gunsmith question after gunsmith question, whatever they have.
That would be awesome.
That's all we will do is talk gunsmithing for like an hour.
Yeah. Would you guys like that? Put a 1 in chat if you'd like that, because I know we got to wrap up.
I'd be happy to do a gunsmithing. Where all we do is
gunsmithing 101, 201.
Yeah.
Just so people understand like the level of like what you're talking about when you're talking about AKs, you're talking about a stamped receiver, right? You're talking about a rear trunnion and a front trunnion that are literally riveted. The barrels are heat press fitted, riveted. So and to make it even more complicated, when people are like, well, so this has a Saiga rear trunnion and tang in there, so I want to change that. Or maybe not tang if it's not.
I've done anything from we had one you can get we were talking about Dracos. Some of the Dracos that were coming in and some of those like Z
the
Paps.
Draco C's.
Well, they were some of the Z Paps and stuff that are coming in have, because in country in Romania they are underfolders.
Yeah,
They build
they
it with
build them on the
underfolders.
underfolding trunnion.
Yeah, and then they just put it regular.
So dope.
So the simple thing is, give it to me. I will drill the holes, file them out, and then you form one it, and we
Yeah.
make it a short-barreled underfolder like it's supposed to. And then some of them now are coming in without underfolder trunnions. So pop the rivets, pull it out, put an underfolder trunnion or a side folder trunnion, do the work, finishing it out, rivet it all in, and repaint it. So I can do any of that. I don't. That market for some reason has been really slow, and I have found that like I said, I really like local gunsmithing stuff where it is. This isn't working. Okay, bring it to me. I'll figure out why it's not working, and I'll have it working in the next 2 hours. Or I'll order the part it needs, or I'll make the part it needs, or whatever, that sort of stuff. And I really like that sort of stuff. But I can I'm capable of, with enough time and money, I'm capable of anything. It's just sometimes I like to try to tell customers a lot of times, I will be honest and upfront with customers where I'm not going to run the tab up on you. I will tell you that this is 3 to 4 hours worth of work. That's $250. Is this gun worth $250, or should you just dump it on Gunbroker and buy something else? A lot of AK guys don't understand the amount of effort that goes into doing some of these things. So yeah, sometimes I tell guys, like, I can do a full rear conversion on that, but that gun you have isn't. One, you paid $400 and it's now worth $8. Sell it for $8 and buy the one you actually want, because you'll have the money. Just don't. And that's not taking away from me. I don't mind you not spending money with me. It's just easier. Sell it for double the profits because they're worth so much more, and then bring it. Buy the one you truly want, because somebody's looking for a dude. You can sell a Draco in 24 hours if you know the right people. It's not hard.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude.
Red Dawn, please send me an email. I'd be happy, or call me or whatever. I'd be happy to talk.
Yeah, and Red Dawn, Babyface P is one of the homies. I know a lot of times I have Red Dawn or Rich or what, but I want to get more into having guests back on. Babyface P has been one of the homies for a long time. So one of the times, so I had a Wasser 1063 back in the day.
We got a bunch of ones, by the way, so we need to have a gunsmithing corner at some point.
Yeah, we definitely do that, and we could do it on Rumble where we can actually pick up and show stuff. And
if you want to, do you ever do anything earlier, or is it always 10 o'clock?
I mean, it usually is, but I'd be down to do something.
Yeah, 10 o'clock is fine. I can just I do it in the garage where I have everything and I can answer questions.
Oh, if you want to do like something like midday or something like that,
well, not necessarily. We'll figure it out. I would love to do. I would love to do gunsmithing. I've talked with a couple of people. I would love to, because the passing on knowledge is fun. I more than anything, I enjoy passing on. I mean, that's my entire YouTube channel is like, has always been. I consider it to be like encyclopedic, where you're not the videos I get are not going to get a 10 million views instantly, but it's there forever, hopefully.
Yeah,
knock on wood. And so the content is like encyclopedic, where you can go back and rewatch it and see like, oh, that's how you do this, or oh, that's how this works, or oh, that sort of stuff.
Dude, I when I had a Wasser with a fixed stock trunnion.
Ain't nothing wrong with the Wasser. Those sons of bitches.
They're great. Dude,
they were cheap. The thing is, they were cheap back in the day. That was a $350 AK, and they fucking ran.
Dude, my first AK that I ever purchased was a $318 Wasser. And then
worked so
actually,
well.
no, I'm sorry. It was a $350 Wasser in 7.62x39. And then I got a Romanian Draco Champion. You ever heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Dude, okay, for anyone out there, if you look up a Draco Champion, it was old. I don't even know if they make them anymore. Probably don't. It is a Draco, full size, but in 5.56.
I wouldn't hate that, actually.
So at the time, though, like 5.56, this weird mags, and this is when I was like fresh 21, so it was just a different world. So that was like $318. But when I had the Wasser, I had a buddy that did, AK stuff, and I was able to literally watch him. I wanted to convert it from a fixed stock trunnion to an AMD 65 side folder. And I know
how do y'all do such retarded shit.
I know.
Why do you people insist on doing the most retarded shit ever?
Have you seen AMD 65s?
Is that that's the one
and
with the
cost?
fucking terrible wire stock, isn't it?
Yes.
They're
yes.
fucking retarded. So
Dude.
It's past midnight. I can curse and be profane.
It's the
Fucking
best.
wire stock. I have a Tantle downstairs
It is
that
the-
I put
what?
the wire stock back on. They're fucking horrible.
But the
They're
Tantle is
uncomfortable.
dope because
The
you can
Tantle
literally
is
just
dope.
run your thumb back and then swing that thing out. Oh, it's so cool.
Fucking horrible stocks. Triangle side folders are the best. Triangle side folder number 1.
Yes,
Classic
for
side
sure.
folder number 2.
You're
Normal-
talking like the Bulgarian, Russian,
Yeah.
4.6 millimeter.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah, the hands up, hands up, hands down. Those are the best ones.
Yeah.
Like that's what's on my
Fucking
arsenal. dude.
Those
Love
side
it.
folding. The only thing worse than one of those AMD side folders is an underfolder. Fuck
Yeah.
underfolders.
I
I know a bunch of people like them. Go
Yeah.
shoot one, and especially go shoot one in full auto.
Oh yeah.
They're horrific creatures. They're
I-
absolutely terrible.
I had an opportunity to purchase a
Triangle
Polytech-
side folder for the fucking win, Master Race. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we're
they
gonna
are-
have to do it. We're gonna have to do an
Even
episode on Rumble where I can show off guns and we can talk stuff.
Yeah. The braces, the triangle braces, pick rail
Pretty
braces,
good.
those are great too.
Pretty good.
Dude, the what was it? MD65.
What do you
and
mean,
then
you
Pulse
people?
Chainsaw.
I'm talking about you fucking degenerates out there with your fucking
Yes.
AMD 6. First off,
Wire
AMD
side
65s are fucking atrocious to begin with.
Dude, they're so dope. If it's a 12.5-inch SPR,
12.5-inch little, and then all the
Yes.
customers. See, the problem is because I come at it from the manufacturing standpoint, where every single one that comes in is a 12.5, and then we have to buy that super long retarded break, and
then
I have to
weld
pin
it.
and weld it on.
Yeah.
And it's
Which
like,
is just so stupid.
fuck,
It's
it's so dumb.
It's I know it's crazy, but like I mean,
I've
so,
built them
okay.
before. I've built 2 or 3 of them. I've done it. I'm happy to do it again because y'all are paying the bills, and you know, the original phrase is taste. Oh my god, what is it? I can't remember it now. The consumer is always right in the matters of taste.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's something like you find something that's like, oh, that's what I want. It's kind of like an underfolder, but it's way less bulky. It's kind of like this, but it's like and it was like $350. I had under 500 into that thing.
The thing was when you could get into those guns for that sort of price point.
Yeah,
fucking run those retarded guns. Walter has, and he makes people so mad. He has an AMD 65 that he literally welded everything together. He
the
put it all
AMD
together,
Hungarian,
the Hungarian, and then he welded the trunnions in. That parts kit with the barrel and everything was like $145 at the time. So who the fuck cares if you weld it all up? You know, who cares?
Yeah, that's like so my Draco I bought for like $350. And then I got it completely hard chromed and put a bunch of plum furniture on it. And
what is your skin color ain't right?
It's
you don't got no melanin on
hard
you.
chrome isn't a black thing. Hard chrome is a functionality thing. Right?
Hard chrome, you're not talking shiny chrome, right?
Dude,
like
you know what's
chrome.
No. It's hard.
Oh, I thought you were talking like polished.
Like polished. It looks like when people grab it, they're like, did that
you still have it
come out
behind?
of...
No, it's not behind
you. Yeah. Oh no, not behind me, but it's in the gun safe. It's like in one of the gun safes. It's like literally people are like, did this come from like Bin Laden's palace? Like it looks like that, you know.
I love taking pictures with my Krink. I have a couple of 45 round RPK mags, RPK 74 mags.
Nice.
So
the Circle 10 ones.
There are 2 of them are Russians. One is a Circle 10.
Oh, nice.
I have one Malat, one some other type of Russian, and anyways, but that Bin Laden, I'm gonna give you all a little bit of history. I don't know if you guys realize or know, Bin Laden always took pictures with Krinks with 45 round stick mags in it.
Yep,
and the reason was the only way in the 80s and 90s to get a Krink was to shoot down a Russian helicopter, and scavenge that shit off the dead pilots. So it was a fuck you status symbol to the Russians to have their modern 545 was their modern caliber. So it wasn't an old gun. It was
their modern submachine gun. Yeah.
Modern submachine gun. You scavenged off of one of their corpses, and I have your RPK 74 mag. Fuck you guys. Like that's why you always saw him in pictures with that.
He
with
did.
The RPK
he always
magazine.
did. I even saw one
to the Russians.
Yeah, I even saw one where he had one of those like whatever PBS cans on it or whatever.
Yes, that's an even bigger because you have to get that from a Spetsnaz.
Oh,
You're not getting that
dude.
from your regular soldier. You're getting that from
Yeah.
special forces. So my guys killed your fucking special forces. I got
And
your
I
can.
took your equipment. Yeah,
That's
pretty
what
nasty.
Bin Laden used to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
I like
ultimate
taking
middle
pictures
finger.
with that, with a short crank with a big fucking stick mag.
Yeah, that's.
I also have one of those big coffin mags, like the 45 round double stack, massive coffin.
Oh,
mags.
really? I got a bunch of Circle
Tough
10 plum mags. Like
those
when
are fantastic. They're
Yeah,
so expensive
dude.
now.
Dude, they cut off importation in like 2010 on those. I bought a 40 rounder plum Circle 10, a 30 rounder plum Circle 10, and a 10 rounder plum Circle 10, which is
I've
super
not
rare.
seen the 10s. Yeah,
Dude, it
that's
looks
rare.
like it's a 5-round mag that has just, a different
a
spring
little
in it.
longer.
Yeah, yeah. And I run those all in the plum. I mean, I don't really run that AK at all, but
That's the
it's
funny
just a
thing.
cool
I have,
thing.
if I ever had to defend my house, I have like 6,000 rounds of 5.45, but I don't ever go shoot that because it's like 4,000 or 5,000 rounds of that is 7.6.
Yeah.
And
You're never seeing that again.
I have 2 spam cans in the wooden crate in the garage of 7.6. And it's like, I don't know what I don't even know if I can replace the non 7.6 with regular 5.45. So I don't shoot those.
Well,
anymore.
and like,
It's
dude,
sad.
I don't think the whole like PSA to save the day with steel
Big
cased
blades,
ammo and
they haven't done it yet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I don't think we'll ever get back to an $89, 1,080 round spam can.
That's the simple way of Murphy's Law. I don't fuck with anything I don't understand and can't fix. I do agree with that.
Absolutely, that's
but
but
the problem with me is I will learn to fix things
Yeah.
that I probably shouldn't.
I get curious. I remember when I couldn't even put on an AK top cover, man. That was like literally Flying Rich called me the other day and he was like, "Dude, how do I put this AK top cover on?"
It was adorable. It was very cute. I had a customer come in who bought his first Glock 19. He was a young guy. Bought his first Glock 19. I think he was like 21 or something. Just turned 21. Bought his first Glock 19, and I was like, "Oh man, this is your first. Congratulations!" I was telling him about it. He did a 4473, and he had to wait a week. And when he came back, I was like, "So yeah, do you want me to run you through how this works?" And I've watched a couple of videos. I was like, "I'll show you about." Pulled it apart, showed him the guts, put it back together, and he was like, "How did you take that apart?" And it's like, "Oh my god, this is precious." I remember the days where I got my first Glock, and I was like, watching what's the old white guy?
Jaeger?
Super tall. No, that's super tall. Lives in Tennessee in the country. He's like a grandfather.
Oh, Hickok.
Watching Hickok videos. I remember watching Hickok videos about Glocks, and he's just like, and it comes apart. And at the time, I was like, how does that Glock come apart so fast? So I was like, man, I'll show you. It's easy. You just click and it flies apart. But that was fun. I like those interactions.
Yeah. A lot of people don't take Glocks apart correctly, and they cup their hand in front of the muzzle. I'm like, and I actually have, on the next stream we do the gunsmithing thing. I'll show a bullet wound of someone that did just that with a jacketed hollow point. Did not end well. All right, I know we're pushing it late, so
I don't know how I'm still awake right now. I'm gonna be dead when my son wakes me up in the morning at like 7:00.
I don't know if it's me freezing up or
you're good now.
I lost you for a sec. I was gonna say we can go ahead and cut out.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Yeah, you're freezing up. Oh God.
Maybe it's an issue with YouTube or StreamYard or whatever, but.
Chrome
and
Vandium
I'm back.
Arms.
Okay, there we go.
Chrome Vandium Arms. If you want some work done, come find me. Babyface P, baby_face P on Instagram, babyface P on YouTube. And I'm always happy. Dark knows I'm always happy to come on here and talk fucking shit. If y'all want to see, if y'all want to have a like Q&A about gunsmithing, fixing things, happy to do it. It's not going to be an hour. It's going to end up being like 3 hours. But hey, it drums up business for me, and it makes me look like the expert, which always makes me feel good inside.
Dude, and there's so much that you do too that like you probably overlook, like the parkerizing, all these cool
I
things
do full refinishing. I just bought a whole set, a whole tank setup for hot bluing. Haven't
Nice.
tried it yet. I have a Taz shotgun in the safe that we're gonna test hot bluing on.
Dude,
because
if you want me to send anything to be hot blued, let me know. I'm
Yeah,
happy
we need
to
to
donate something. You
fuck
know?
around with some hot bluing.
Yeah.
I need to get it. I haven't. So I went to screw with it the other day, and I realized that the old pipe burners have all sorts of weird connectors on them, and none of those match to my my propane tank. So I'm gonna have to get it still worked on. But yeah, I hot blue soon. Hot blue. I mostly do rust bluing. I do parkerizing. I do Cerakote. I do KG made gun coat. I do any of those sorts of coatings. I can fix and build anything. Just a matter of if you need it. But yeah, I'm happy to do some question and answer stuff. It'd be fun.
C&T, as an STI graduate, was just doing hot bluing one day and bubbling. It's so cool.
That is the thing. It's all about that metal prep. It's the same for rust bluing. It's all about that. You can spend days on the metal prep, and the hot blue is just in, done, out. Like all in that metal prep.
Hey, Murph, thank you so much, man. Right at the end of the show. Appreciate the super chat, dude. That's you're the man. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Well, we can go ahead and wrap up. It'll still take me a few minutes to
Sean Zimmerman, send me an email. Depends on what sort of barreled action it is. It's probably less than 150. If it's rust blued, it's not. It might even be cheaper than that, depending on what it is. Yeah, so that's it for me. Find me on all the socials, and I'd be happy. If you guys have questions, it's that same Chrome Vandium Arms. It's support at. And I'm pretty bad with email. I usually check it every other day or every 2 days. That's the one downside to being a one-man show is I can either work and make money or do admin stuff, and I hate the admin stuff.
Tell me about it.
I'm pretty bad at doing email, but I will get back to you eventually.
Yeah.
Instagram is the best. If you message me on Instagram, I'm ADHD type where if I get a message on Instagram, I will usually pull out my phone and answer it pretty quickly because
oh goodness, I got months of messages just back.
Thank Christ, people don't message me that much. Don't do that to me,
dude. Yeah, it's crazy. It's if you want to bounce, because I know you got kids to feed and wives to take care of. If you want to bounce, you're good. Or stick around. It'll just take me a few minutes to close.
No, take your time. I'm good. It's already almost 1 anyways.
All right, cool. So I just want to thank everyone for coming on. Obviously, I want to thank you for coming on. It's always a blast. I mean, we always have a good time, whether we're on Hank's show or here or Crumps or whatever. And I love seeing that, man. I remember when we were talking about before the professional, change in your life, and we were kind of talking about stuff, and to see kind of where you've come in like just a year and a half, like it's incredible. So you should be super proud of yourself, dude, for real.
I appreciate it. I can tell people if the only thing I can tell you is if you are thinking about starting a business, don't wait, just do it. I kind of wish I would have done it years ago. Like it's the best thing. It's hard. It's very difficult. And I don't make as much money as I used to, but I will never go back to not work. I love what I do now. I really, truly do.
And it is kind of like you're never not working in a way, because like
I work. I try to take like half a day off on Saturdays to go do stuff with Marley and the baby, but I'm always kind of but again, it's not like it's painful. Like I don't mind.
Yeah,
I like gunsmithing, and I like working on other people's guns, and it's fun.
Yeah.
So it doesn't technically. I will be out there sometimes 9 or 10 o'clock at night getting stuff done for the next day, and it doesn't feel like pain.
Well, you're doing awesome, and you do some cool stuff, and even like re-welds and the 32 caliber Scorpion and all. Dude, there's so much stuff that like I just want to.
I can do anything. Y'all ask me, I could probably do it. It's just a matter of is it worth it money wise.
He can do it.
Anyways,
legal. All right, so let's go ahead and wrap up, guys. Thank you again for everyone coming in, tuning in, hanging out. Obviously, I know we had a focus. Topic tonight, but we, as always, kind of go all over the place, but that is really part of the beauty of the show. So before we close out here, I just want to say, support Babyface P, hit up his Instagram, Chrome Vandium Arms. Yes, he knows that it's
spelled incorrectly on purpose, and there's an inside joke. If we ever meet, buy me a beer and I'll tell you about it because it is kind of funny.
Yeah. And make sure you support him. If you do follow him on Instagram, do me a favor and just go hit him with a like bomb. Go like 10 of his stuff, pictures on his IG and show him some love, and just show him how the dilders are in action.
Lobby, we need a t-shirt.
Yes, we do need that. That's awesome. Anyway, look, in closing, guys, remember, regardless of who's in the office, regardless of the administration, we're still in an active culture war. So make sure that you become a culture warrior. And there's many ways that you can do that. But the best way that we can do that is by you showing up, being the best version of yourself, by you being, the leader that we're supposed to be as men, being the spiritual leader in your household, being a leader within the community, within your church. And the way that we do that and improve every day is by holding yourself to higher standards, by having higher standards and expectations for yourself. And I'd recommend that all of you guys take the time right now, while we have the time, to get right with your family, get right with God. And some of the ways that we do all these things is by following just a few simple rules. Rule number 1 is to be kind. It's so important that we're kind in everything that we do. That brief interaction that you have with somebody else could have a massive impact on their life. So be kind. Rule number 2 is to live a life of care, compassion, contribution, give to others. Because when you bless others, you become blessed, because the hand that's open to give is open to receive. And rule number 3, perhaps my favorite, because we know the only way for us to defeat evil is with good men skilled in violence. Make sure that you're becoming as highly skilled in violence as you possibly can be. Be safe, be dangerous, and keep that thing on you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Babyface P, thank you again. Appreciate you coming on. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Christ is King. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Later, guys. Oh, and don't forget, shop at DLD Hardware, shop at Definition Knives. And I still haven't changed the fact that there's free shipping. So you can take advantage of my laziness. All right, love y'all. Catch